the ways of the world today. Thinking of my people Africa and the state of the continent today. How mothers fed their children today. As granny goes down on her knees every day and prays. How many souls are dying from causes that could be prevented? If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Oh, 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 Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Zion away. Africa rise, every 4 years, the politicians say he's your servant today. After you vote for them, they metamorphose into your masters. I say, have your say, we'll have our way, yeah. Not no strange, it's cow demon crosses. Meanwhile, souls are dying from causes that could be prevented. If we did have leaders who cared for us today. Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. Zion away. Africa rise.
We can be great. World turbulence among the politics. Never hypocrite, lava. Never ever quit, just a little bit longer. Victory is near, they're gonna disappear, go under. The leaders them no care, never tend to share. Babylon quit, the shedding of blood. Your heart a go suffer if you show no love. Stay away, consciousness. What the God in this and if for no righteousness. Just make sure the children live.
I pray for the future generation not to give up this fight. I pray for the children of tomorrow not to sell out their birthright. Cause when I look afar, I see the strangers eating up your food. Another form of slavery is coming here again. And that's why people are dying from causes that could be prevented. Oh yes, we do need some better leadership today. Oh, oh, oh. Zion and Yahweh. Zion away. fire burn them. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. The wrath of God upon them.
I am your chief, you sell some fire, you're killing people every day. Anytime you open your mouth, up here lie, you're leading my people astray.
Government by family and friend, corruption never end. And you tell us, said you are God sent, but when we turn around the bend, you thieving with a pen. Coffee with family, and I struggle with friend. And when you come after we, like the cock on the end. What a pity when we sell our dignity as men. Politicians them attack we from the rear end. Lead me to a dead end. And the fake preacher telling I and I feel repent. With the money in my pocket is the mountain I get. And when the gap are ever widen, fences can mend. So this question I send.
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
And me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Whoa, at the fire bonding. Until they change their mind, the wrath of God upon them.
Through your lies and deception, wrong education, you're posing yourself one way. But when the church and the state collaborate to keep us in slavery.
And by the ballot and the bullet, they put their gun to the head. Them say you have the right to talk, but talk too loud and you dead. It's like them have a different system for the leader and the leader. Hurt or run red. So get the youth boss rise and show them how things we run. If them can't do it, come and make we show them how we done. And we now no more room for them like them days are gone. Up your fire burner. What I mean say?
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
And me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Where the money oh?
I don't know.
So where the money dey? Hiding in the Cayman Islands. So where the money dey? Invested in foreign lands. So where the money dey? Me personally, I don't know. So where the money dey? Where the money dey oh? And I mean say hot a fire burn there. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. And the wrath of God upon them. Until them change their mind. Wrath of God upon them. But for people plan, wrath of God upon them.
Radio KULCHA. Radio KULCHA. I go. Amen.
Yes, indeed. 1-2-1-2 Radio KULCHA. I go. Amen. Welcome to the show once again. My name is Kwesi Eson Bako from Studio 1, Texas, USA. And at this time, I'm ably supported by my team in Studio 2, Kumasi, Ghana. We have an exciting show for you today. Very, very, very packed show. Yes, indeed, as advertised, we have two solid interviews for you today. On the first interview, we hope to bring you Nana Obiri Boahen. Nana Obiri Boahen is a solid, and what we mean when we say solid on this platform. But yes, Nana Obiri Boahen is a member of the new Patriotic Party. Very outspoken, very eloquent member. And he's going to be joining us to talk about the state of the new Patriotic Party right now as they prepare for their upcoming primary elections. Yes, indeed. We will be speaking with Nana Obiri Boahen about what's going on in the new Patriotic Party. Some say it's reshaping, some say it's imploding. What's going on? Is the new guard, so to speak, rising up against the old guard, so to speak? We will be examining all of that with Nana Obiri Boahen. On our second interview, we hope to be speaking with Moses Foh Amoaning. Moses Foh Amoaning is a household name in Ghana. We all know Moses Foh Amoaning. Moses Foh Amoaning is an advocate for the proper family values. That name, I have to find the full name. But yes, we'll be speaking about Moses Foh Amoaning, who has also called for a probe, or an inquiry at least, into the NaCCA. And when we talk about NaCCA, it's the National Curriculum Association, right, who determine what goes into the curriculum for our schools. Moses Foh Amoaning is asking for an inquiry into that body and into their operations. Why? We will be speaking with him as well. And plus, we'll be bringing you arts and culture with Cinergy. And also on agriculture, we will be examining the president's policy of encouraging schools to make their own farms to feed themselves. All that plus more on this show. My name is Kwesi Eson Bako. Please stay put. We're still trying to raise Nana Obiri Boahen on the line. We're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, our first interview will be airborne.
Radio KULCHA. Radio KULCHA.
It's a brand new sound.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
Welcome to Tucson Hotel, your ultimate home away from home. Located in the serene town of Ejisu Ichakrum, just off the Jabin Road, we offer you a haven of comfort and luxury. Step into our fully air-conditioned 40 bedrooms, where modern elegance meets convenience. Whether you choose our normal, standard, deluxe standard, or executive rooms, each one is equipped with Wi-Fi and DSTV, ensuring that you stay connected and entertained throughout your stay. Indulge your taste buds at our exquisite bar and restaurant, where our skilled chefs prepare a wide range of culinary delight to satisfy every palate. From local delicacies to international favorites, we have something for everyone. Planning a business meeting or a special event? Look no further than our state-of-the-art conference hall. With a capacity to accommodate 80 to 100 people. It is the perfect venue for your corporate gatherings or social celebrations. But that's not all. We proudly boast the largest recreational center in the Ejisu municipality. With a capacity to accommodate up to 2,000 people, it is the ideal location for concerts, weddings, and other grand events. It comes with 4 fully air-conditioned bedrooms and a kitchen as one package. Our luxury cars are also available for rent. Drive like a boss. To experience true hospitality and unmatched comfort, contact us today. Our friendly staff is ready to assist you. You can reach us at 0244 654 458, 0246 505 327, or 0241 418645. You can also email us at info@tucsonhotel@gmail.com. Tucson Hotel, your home away from home.
Room, size up the picture properly. Okay, here we go. Thank you very much. So yes, we are back, and thank you very much. We are back with Nana Obiri Boahen. Unfortunately, we're not able to bring you Nana on TV, but we are able to at least bring you the most important part of the interview, which is what he is going to say. Please help me welcome Nana Obiri Boahen on the show right now. Nana, yamao achimao aha iwe. Oh, yo, yeah, that's it. Hey, I don't point to me that when you say we are, but say draining radio. Yo, yeah, that's it.
No, my Usima do me answer. I can't cry. No, nine.
Kakra, yo. Nana, yeah, that's it. Piece of what Jim read and the Atenase, a view, any about the Casa. I said, you advertise on the show, and the Babeka MPP, who sent. Getting towards the primaries now, urban. So far, there's a lot going on in the party. From where you said, Nana, are we all set? Are we ready for January primaries now. 31st primaries now.
Oh, let's say America phone now. So that corona to myself and my life
In studio, Pepe.
I got to see the what to myself from a later part of the year.
Amen. You're very sure.
Maybe January, February now, or the Kratana, but not just a by August, September, or the longer than that will be a set time.
Mati,
I can organize to come. Look, I mean, what the man is so much here. Now, what other one you see more? MPP primaries now or more bayano, and Nadia, Evi, the MPP, my brother, I'm on the same. My quadare Ghana politician, my quadare Obiri politician. I mean, I'm very good in politics in Africa. And also that me no krakani. Me can otim say, obaga say a conformity. Oh yeah, I was on a program I think yesterday. And I say, Anna, where the Nigerian Honka crow. Anna, yeah, Moka politics, now, NDC assembly. Now, the look, I'm a grassroots man. I'm a very objective minded person, objective minded lawyer. I'm an honest lawyer, honest politician. But you know, in NDC now, I can tell you, sir, somebody originating with the grassroots, you know, more is general mosquito. But don't kill it.
The tail partner.
If your son will be said, then no one will not crack. And said, yeah, me showing a me no crackany. Me showing a man and just said, there be on the castle in time castle. And some from the bridge, but I'm also oh yeah, I mean I'm being very honest, but you know I'm somebody. So I told that person, say, the Lord said, and I'm saying, Ghana politics. We're not going to come on ABI Mubin. Wow, party crowd power. They don't want to give you any position because African politics sometimes it thrives on falsehood and dishonesty. Good liquor. Good liquor. I had a castle beyond castle front when the king is naked. I know why you're good liquor to show Obiri Boahen, give you another. So, I mean, yeah, don't get worried, you know. I mean, you put your trust and your confidence in your God. So let me come back to the MPP. It's not a we've gone through turbulent periods than this.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 1992. Kwame Safuedu, Janisabi, Professor Dubois.
When they were the 17.
17 yeah, 2008.
Okay. And even before that, no? Now you had gone through a more turbulent period? No. Shane, can watch them say.
One more MPP 92, let me a lawyer. That in an MPP August 1992. Let me a practicing lawyer. That Dankwa Buzia Atakora Jimano, Dankwa Buzia Club, the whole bro and a half. Bro and a half. Let me Obiri Boahen, Mayor Secretary, Dankwa Buzia Club. And I started doing active politics from 1990s. Just when I had come out as a lawyer. Because there were signs that Ghana Beko Western multi-party system.
Yeah.
So from the 1990-91, now groupings started. Both MPP, CPP, and that groupings started
form, yeah.
Then in 1992, Obiri Boahen, Jansebi, Kwame Safuadu, Ebenum Kano. That one wasn't because now Obiri Boahen lectures in the command the Ghanaian Films in 1988 at the British Council.
Yeah.
Now, Obiri Boahen, that was in April 1988. Now, Obiri Boahen, now he was also writing in the Catholic standard, the Kuntupiat. Kuntupiat. So Obiri Boahen was well known. So Obiri Boahen won. I said Obiri Boahen ben winning. Oh, winning. And people were surprised. Then I just said, Addison was very rich. Cement dealer. Obiri Boahen won. People, no, Obiri Boahen we are done on TV. Now, as I we are not cracking now, showing me. You're able to do proper analysis. Fast forward 92, Obiri Boahen, then we started with 96. 96, Ejikun Kufuor came in. Akufo-Addo became the campaign. He was the campaign manager for Obiri Boahen in 1992. But things went on well for Obiri Boahen. But I can't say 2 weeks. No, Oko Tama. Eko Kasi Misha, a month for Egi Sikef, a month for Abraham no crash. So people got infuriated.
When the cancer, Obiri Boahen the cancer.
Yeah, Obiri Boahen. Another incident which worked against Obiri Boahen. Now, the comments, no utterances, I started in the me talking about the camera about 2 Rollins. Now, Obiri Boahen supported. You see, the Ghanaian politics. After the
and then it started.
Okay, after the Boahen is why I did dinner. Kikabichira dinner. But what that
people didn't like that posture, no. People didn't like they did their posture, no.
Yeah, I've been advising my nephew, Kwamba, for the party. Oh, fast. We are very active with your fast. But I'm telling you, I did the terminal. My friend wanted to. But though I go to college, my father did the we are hard working. We are very aggressive. We are forthright. We are sincere. We are reliable. But I tell you, I've been advising women to do not bronya, and I let me company. And
your company.
Yeah, it's my company. Abronya investment.
Because make Yamitia no say a crowd free horn and a free Abronya and then yes, I Yana no kura Abronya. And I made the company no. Mayor no Abronya investment company. Okay.
So Abronya investment company in Yamitia. And I made no so when I started to turn SAS in 95. 96, won't kick off Abronya investment company. Kick off. But the Tom Sassi, Okodoma, will be Grekum. Tachima, Wenchi, Kranza, the Tampo. But the Tom Sassi has been an amateur Tom Sassi, but kick off Abronya. Didn't laugh. Now, Abronya Yaman. Said, didn't go secondary school, dust. No, any question, no baby. Now, I want any question about Obiri Boahen, Abronya, no Fassia. In the other for her, Abronya of Fassia, Abronya Bayway. I know those days the current. I feel Abronya, why the crowd, why the France of Cracking.
It's a brand new sound for radio.
So that is it.
I see.
So in 1992. Oh, yeah. So in 1996, Now, Obiri Boahen in the comments, the people felt that were too aggressive and abrasive.
Yeah.
And just like if you want to go to fight Jerry John Rawlings, or yeah, so you are the push in a big dinner. Would the kitty cost our better? Yeah, and it was a very good decision and people follow. Yeah, so they voted for Ajikunko. I mean, 1 week to the election, so no BN said, Obiri Boahen, but maybe an army, a grassroots to my name, say no, I don't know about Kenny. I
didn't know who said better at that point. Now we are inside the we decided, say, yeah, group and a fashion that yeah, pet sa posture. We prefer Ajikunko's gentle giant posture. And that's a just intuition. They know, then who said better.
No, I don't expect to make a somewhere no 96. No, we are in article, my newspapers in Ghana has. I was writing for the Statesman, the Chronicle, the Independent, the Free Press. So, I mean, those journalists around that time, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98 to 2000. Now, Obiri Boahen didn't have a household name in Ghana. Because I'll be writing at the articles.
It was more of an intuition, and I say it's going to change, not from any insider idea. Yeah. I see.
Because Ramanfo, Meko Doma, Meko Sampa, Meko Kentampo, Meko Atebu, Meko Jasemo, you know. Because already Draminaso, you full age, you know. When a man for share, you interact. So I tell Sobia, you say, no, you'll be a boy, by giving minimum by Premier share, you know. So, a quiet Kofan winning. But you were rooting for Ajikunko in 1992. And all of a sudden, I don't know because Ajikunko said because Jessica, no, man, you know my life. When you be Jessica, certain I got had to be a meeting. Now, according to says Ajikunko winning Yaba presidential. No. One winner on the runners. Now, young people decided, say, on the current time, promotion. On the current time. So in 95, we were doing this all over the country. 10 regions. No, Kofo didn't take active part in this Kumiprako.
Yeah.
It was Nana Akufo-Addo. So, again, Nana Akufo-Addo, the upper hand, you know, and those days he was going to court. Represented he and Peter Lajete and Odoisai and Abidje Dawacha represented the MPP in most of the Supreme Court cases. So, that was the system. But, you know, because now now I had soft spot for Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
Yes. That is the truth. Now, Kwame Pianim came into the picture after 96. And Kwame Pianim had the support of a good number of people because no call GTV no more program here on Sundays, 7 p.m. So we all glued to our TV, black and white, 7 p.m.
Talking point. Talking point.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Talking point. So you are good, you know. We are talking about Sabran.
Yeah, that's right. I suffer that.
Radio culture.
So, the most we come to you now or more than in fact. But you know, for that a member of the Kwame Pianin group. And Rosemary, a member of the Kwame Pianin group, decided to go and test the eligibility of Kwame Pianin. And the Supreme Court said, no, he cannot contest. That changed the dynamics. I'm a Kwame Pianin for the big call, for a Kwame Pianin for the so called a Kufuado.
Hold your thought. Now, Supreme Court is based on what was Kwame Pianin ineligible.
Kwame Pianin was once convicted.
Okay.
For having for treason.
Okay.
And treason, in Jawa, you need a period of 10 years. And
I see. So okay, me Patriotic.
So the Kwame Pianin group, Ebinum call Kufuado, and Ebinum so call a Jikum Kufo. So in 1998, but Aka, by 2 days, coming to me, because I'm to me, between Kufo and Kufuado. No, but Malik Yakubu contested no. I absorb a Kufuado, a chita for no kakra. A judgment contested no. Or absorb a Jakum Kufu, a chita for no kakra. But then it was a Saturday. So Friday in the morning, people were calling me. People were trying to find. Now, Obiri, because yes, I didn't get there between Nana Kufuado and Ajikum Kufu. So now we are Kufuado here, Kumitra Queen, and I'm no. Maybe I have a soft spot for a Kufuado, but we have no emphasis. You know, that Friday, now you're reaching way back, no, reaching way about some reaching. So, what's the region for Obama? Gladys Asman. No change.
No change meaning what?
That's a young change. Kofo.
Okay.
Which are the NaCCA 96.
Okay.
Candidate in the never got 2,000. So there will be no change. Young change. What's the reason for the ban or me? No change of the kind and no change. Now say, again, okay. I never am feeling me, and I'm young, and I greater cry. We just over the Belantino. So no change. So then no change, not just a factor. So around. I'll take around and say, greater craft of the Bruce and around number 4 in the night. Like I said, no change in any route. Kusiano Pano or trade, and I feel no change. No change. Just a son. And the Dubai connected. area ecosystem for Jekunko 496. Ecosystem on Macassin Kufu with your money that we are most until saw you on you, young son of the Nebako. So that brought this philosophy of no change in the MP. And in 1998, now on Coachman and the Bashman, and you couldn't perform. So people felt that look, no my answer, there's someone. So you couldn't perform your cram and Fanonco. Because yes, someone. But I can say, if you have a moko back, come and you are
Was that the only reason? And now I said, now there was a bigger point, say, yeah, marketing to the point, say, or yeah, more we're gaining traction, kakra, and it's better to move ahead with him than say let us do before.
I said no change.
Yo, then now what I say, MPP has seen more turbulent times. It's and no na would share in minutia details here now.
Yeah.
Yo.
No mobile phone ni ho. 1998 no mobile phone so na nyat say na monte WhatsApp, TikTok, YouTube, big hand. But those days you realize that it was quite turbulent. People were exchanging heated arguments. It wasn't simple. There was antagonism was very serious.
I see.
Where you Kufaduni, where you Kofonipa, where you judgments and Nipa, where you Malaki Yakubu Nipa.
Not tribalism kakrasu wo na tribal undertones kakrasu wo. So because they say at the culture bibisa sa they say Moses say yeti bibisa ewo campaign in those times it's not yeti bibisa.
Why not? Right, because you know that's doing it against Ajekunko for we say he said for not chashem come say obiani wa obesane asante hena.
Oh wow.
Yeah, only Ajekunko for ba on because for not chashem come. Then Ubi says okay, for not chashem come should be in asante hena. Now free fast so be president. But a free fast they know it's again. So that was the campaign. And also Kosuka.
Because what the secretary of Santa Francasa and Kabia said, your money on Wakasa and Sam quote, yes, okay, and coming in. Say, Ebia Provano Chica, assembly, and Bisa. And also, if you know, they see a Kufado, just okay, sick of for sir, or cast a confirmation I can't say. But banana, the makers, this is say no. Yet TBB to say, yet in plain words, say, oh, wait free her, and you know, Motomana, it will be free her. My memory clear example. Yes, say, Ebia, President Mahama, every not, and you know, say, Odiria, yet to me, son, two more bios or free not. That type of thing. Not motivi, those times, no.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
My example.
People are saying, look, John Rollins, when we were going for 1996, accountability film. And now you have our politics now. The MPP were shouting accountability film. So now, yeah. Accountability film. John Rollins of Togo. I'm
afraid that one can't say no. Now, could I see from Crapo? The second, who said it's kind of even friendly and endearing because at least they almost accept to some more contact. Would that be true? It's a look up they come to me and shut down here, Bibia. But Ofito go there someday.
Radio culture.
Ofitogo. Sadly, coming from us, we said Ivory Coast was I need to put the nearest country near the Waka.
historically, Jerry John Rawlings had trace in Togo. That I say. Of Togo. Yeah, German. Hey. And then some of my MPP for one very good. Masha, so there's no formidable political party. It's a new Patriotic Party in Africa.
What I can't say no, but it's subject to a lot of debate, if you ask me. But today you're focusing on.
So I could tell you from then. Eventually, at the Congo Forum in 1998. Then they went around with the Kofor. I believe that Kofor and maybe Jerry John Rawlings. Woman have Kofor, Jerry John Rawlings, and maybe Baumia. Woman actually Kofor, Jerry John Rawlings, and Baumia. Woman actually
Ghana. As in Omato, Ghana, in the course of campaigning.
Yes. Now, I'm only in 1989 the Congo for France. Some men are called before Echo Bishop Kwasi, typical village power. And this is neck. Sata photo water anymore. And you know, Sata Aquanaco photo up and down, up and down brown. Don't show the car here, ladder. What's it? No car, ladder. Russia for the car,
ladder, yes.
I don't show me the other, not your bar.
So, I bush. Anything we come to remote places now.
When I know be a penny, Obiri Boahen. Once I'm about you to know, my mother will have
it's in a year, baby. Yeah, baby, must have say, maybe I do. I can't was it. Yeah, baby.
Yadru 99.
1999, okay.
After 98, you know, now you can campaign once.
Yes.
1999. So we went for the elections in 2000 and we won. And there were a lot of court cases. In fact, I've done a lot of cases in court for the MPP that any lawyer in this country.
Your last interview, I know you're okay.
Yes. 2001.
Interesting.
No, when we won, before I wanted to make me the deputy regional minister, 2001. Then the then regional chairman and the campaign manager, before now they are not so now regional chairman no. Any campaign manager and focus and person you Obiri Boahen. Here, David. What did I buy a Kufadu Nipa? No, that I confess him showing a Kufadu by contesting 2-4. So Kufo called Amabuzia and told us, hey, Nipanam Casam the Baban, one and Ocean and getting better yet. All one can't be better. I said, there's a market too. I'm a town for. So I'm a Buzian from Seven Regional Chairman and regional communication and regional campaign. The regional campaign manager was done from PCP. And I remember that in 1996 we formed the Great Alliance.
Yeah.
So although for PCP never a campaign manager, none of them for partner the Concourse. So it is our regional campaign manager and regional chairman of the Kodime Hotel.
I see.
I know, but you know, somebody who believes in faith, my destiny, my God. So I'm going to come and compare with me in the child. Some of my child, my baby upon ya, many.
Deputy Reserve Minister.
Deputy. But I said, no, me, on
principle.
Yeah. So, we didn't. So, in 2006, when the chairman he said, Party I am for the chairman. And our chairman or the prime minister men contested as the regional chairman. Because I'm ready to say, man, I perform be quite having. So it took a lot of interventions. And some I made the teams and never contested as the regional chairman. Then I will contest here in 2006, 2005, I think 2005 or 2006. I became the regional chairman of the party, born enough. So I tell them I move from the regional youth, born enough. And then we call 92 and 96, you know, me as a being copy. So from the regional youth, then my next leadership was the regional chairman.
And I would say, through these times, Ninano, it's only because there was no social media. The level of animosity and the war party, it's the year who say no, it's nothing new. That's the summary of it.
Okay, that's a little gas and you were so dear. Then our friend master historian now. It's a Ghana about some and politics about some.
That's right.
I go back to the secret in National. Even though they are older than me, no, or wouldn't have to me. I won't show Obiri Boahen, not the only any power.
No, necessary. And yet, if there's nothing strange there, nothing, zero in on the current. Kakra. Number percent. Before we come there, me patrol. Me percent wanna say your percent me flashing back to the past. Please feel free because any way there, you are giving us gems of history. So
When I'm not missing me, I wouldn't be Ghana. I will be a Ghana a Ghana politics. You can call NDC. I mean, but Obiano NDC, NDC politics.
Interesting. Yo, Nana, it's about maybe so. Say no, also Obia entimi in Chabaumia based on
because history and tradition. Say that's
okay.
History and tradition. Say that's
Before we go there, Mami Bissau, are you pro Baumia or you are speaking as an objective observer of what's going on in the party? Mami Bissau.
Who started Baumia for the president? The whole country. Who started it?
Meaning, say you were very, very vocal for Baumia in the presidential race.
Not vocal. I started it. Not vocal. I started it. After the community, we end up taking campaign to manage the
me kai sansem ne pa yebeka ho asem yebeka ho asem in fact ye kind of ho asem fi ho and sadly yebeka what happened why and then you see here
no that PP committed the mistake but now can win this and come of so but you know see after that the campaign team about family and
Nana, Ayasama, what me yet still a settle. Naka Uyenya Widia, Naka what can they feel prep to help even the candidate himself?
Confidential. I mean, no, she are one.
No, what can not say?
America, who state is like?
No, Texas, Nana.
Texas, okay, sure. Yeah. No, no question, what I am okay.
Number of Bronx, near Bronx, you feel Bronx by 3 or so years. You feel Bronx never Texas to see.
But I want to pay about them for one you call
hold the little gun.
What you want, man, more deep component, Johnny, cancer, I am a Canada. The Pajan and French and Brampton, and my sister, the Hoya Cratch of Phonetical food.
Ghana for so happy. Your big Ghanaian community so happy. What do you
yeah, I don't Washington DC. I heard that about 44 into 47 billion. In the country, I am on the
Radio and culture.
Seven sisters and the block water. Because my colleague, woman,
Missing an baby, of Bronx woman. A Ghana restaurant bear 5 to choose from with a hot. Meanwhile, Australia, that's a bit Ghana, they actually before bus 2. Before I could see Crow, myself about quarter, so I made the Ghana restaurant. For me, Kusha, Mummy.
I'm a penny of anyway, I said, any genus and the no, but that's all, you know, Baumia has the edge over all of them. Definitely, you will win. Definitely, you will win.
But, Mammy,
you know,
what we need to be
a beautiful yeff. Tina, Sa Traba, you know, airborne.
No. Mammy Bissau said, when we near it, I'm saying it's almost a no-brainer. So if you really check it out, even the polls are, leaning towards that. But if you check the level of animosity at what party, Matis will say a BC though. But with social media at our fingertips right now, can't it also be said when we near it, that same social media be used to do some type of harm to the party in terms of diminishing its chances?
That social media can also heal wounds.
Also, that social media night then?
You can also use it to heal wounds.
To heal wounds. Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Who's going to lead that charge, though? Nana, who's going to lead that charge? Because it's almost like the old guard versus the new guard. We see a youngish, executive in charge. Now, the permit say Professor Frimpong, what's the party? Same thing they call earlier with Alan Mo, all of that. Who is going to lead that charge for that healing of the wounds? No.
How do you say that? How do you say that old gas versus new gas?
Then I'm telling you what I see from where I sit. Maybe from inside you see a different picture.
Possibly the spectacle you are putting on by no class in your camera, I need a blood into
a designer or red band.
No, because I joined MPP. I played a vital role in MPP before from Pop Watson joined the MPP.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm talking of the political party MPP, Obiri Boahen, master, I am authority.
Mm-hmm.
But when Akufo-Addo became the president, Pop Watson got ministerial position.
Mm-hmm.
What is Akufo-Addo pencil? I tell you, but maybe Akufo-Addo. So it would be wrong for people to say,
that's fair enough. But that doesn't also erase the fact that he's been around for a while. And this is a man who has actually run for flag bearer of the party before. And then history he was somewhere in the picture.
2008. No, Obe prayer. 2018, the son now
I see.
And then Alan Martin also left. Yes, let him go. It's a political party.
But isn't it a game of numbers anymore? I thought it was a game of numbers.
Sabi mi nkampo a means having Lucifer ya so brachi and nyanko company having everything that's a national wealth. God insisted say there should be discipline. God crack the ship.
Nana, Matthias Nana, but are you saying this to suggest Frimpong Boahen is being recalcitrant? Is that what we're hearing?
I'm not saying that he's being recalcitrant, but I'm saying that he's being ungrateful.
But maybe he's trying to straighten up his party for better chances. Maybe he's trying to activate the voice of the democracy within the party.
What democracy means what? Democracy
means giving people the chance to speak their views, even if it doesn't line up with the popular view of the party.
Good. Now man says the party is fake. When something is fake, then something that thing doesn't exist. When that thing doesn't exist in reality, then you don't need to belong to a society that doesn't exist in reality. I mean, this is common sense.
Nana, you're master of almost every subject. Let's dig into it a little more. We're doing communication here. I am sitting at the receiving end of Professor Frimpong Boahen. What I heard him say is that there is a certain silent voice within the party who are active members of the party but are not able to articulate their voice because of what is going on in the party. That's what I heard.
And consider the definition of a political party. If you start it with the Hobbesian definition or St. Augustine's definition, the common thread is a group of people coming together to fight for the political leadership of the country. That group, when it's formed, it has its do's and don'ts.
Yes.
Near the pet, anybody you want. Once you become a member, and yet your own petness will be at you. And yet your own petness will be as you can say on pet. That is the essence of a political party. In the religious group, I always talk about three groups: Roman, LD, Kremu, because one of the make us say Kremu for Benjamin Shea, because the young Kremu. We can't hear Roman for Benjamin Shea, we can't hear you for Benjamin Shea. Tita Biabami and San Median Phantom. And look, I celestial matter, spiritual matter. And when you're back, and the Roman would you want you, and some crowd again. As the Uoma, one Shasumadi, one Resamo. Cramo, one ransom. Even this is a question of spiritual issues. So you cannot carry a group and say, media, as I said, Baumia, Omuchi Fonsa, and a Baumia Bay flag bearer, and Tino, come on. The reasonable thing to do within that situation is to leave the party. That's
what exactly, which clause or which rule, which governing act within the party does that statement breach? What exactly, what are you accusing him of?
Good. As the reference SDA for any written statute to be by operation of law, automatically, you cease to be a member of the SDA. Automatically, you don't get
but these are stated rules. SDA no yakato say men shasumadi and to shasumadi like you are saying it's automatic. But again, a yakato hontia and until moderation so I can say yeah the fake assembly or kind
you You don't bring your party down. You don't make comments to tarnish the image of the party.
Okay.
No. Yes, he is a professor. Who say I didn't a fake? And teacher said, it doesn't exist. Now, Kuna, it doesn't exist. Also, member. I mean, wait, just I mean, let me be very honest and sincere.
To what degree is free speech acceptable or accepted within the party, if that's the case?
No. Maybe MPP, and never be console. No one yard, and I never be console. MY, and uncle. Now, see a fake. Look, when I go for the castle on the cathedral. You see, you don't use taxpayers' money to put up a cathedral. When that happens, it will go against the party and it will go against the country. That means to be new free party. What you say? Now, yes, also party need a fake. I want to chimo binsa.
Yeah, is it Obisobe Bisa said, is this the first time that we're hearing that? As you're singling out for extreme punishment, that's why you're a scapegoat of sorts. Because
we're extreme punishment. Minister of Environment. Do you know the leases for? Do you know concessions for?
Are you okay?
Nobody is untouchable in any political party. No single person is untouchable. When Adama Kwadu threatened to break away from NDC, she broke away. She formed an NDC Guyana.
No.
Realistic. And because she was sympathetic to NDC,
you're sympathetic to Mother Ghana and Africa by extension. And it's diaspora. But Asema Yebisa.
If you are sympathetic to Africa, now you're better discussing Uganda elections.
You're better for that also. So, availability in Kwani here. So, are you ready for that in Kwani here?
The point is that why do you be covering over this? It is a group. The man is a member. What can you encourage? Fake. Omsi be you are and I you wait. And I think. Party fake is also your joining. Party
no.
I just want to be a number.
Party, your friend, no Patriotic Party, right? And your major idea, Modi National say a Democratic Party. And it's a Kokoba say Ebia Sebi, Obia Kwako can. And I'm saying this, Ebia will be a what you know as an insider. No, you see a different picture. From where I say. No, I'm saying you're a member of the party. You're a member of the party. That's why I'm calling you an insider. But what I'm saying is, baby, I may make any baby are watching. We may see different pictures. And maybe there is a maybe some question. Now, also there is a what Daruma. No, what you much saying. Now, yes, edified. Go home. But then maybe son said, Obi Bisa said, Asema Frimpong Watinka, Professor Frimpong Watinka. Yet say Obia can be Bisa a bit more abrasive and derogatory to the image of the party. Why is he being singled out?
It is their party. It is their party. It is the MPP. It is their party. Anna, Waka. Now I'm sure one can we are one challenge. No problem.
Now who is their party? Because the party they say the People's Party. I can sign up to be a member of the party. And when you start speaking like this, and you're making it look like there's a group of elitist people to who the party belongs, and everybody else can go to hell.
Please, remember that is never correct. Ever since from what Reshaping, I can hear you see that explains why, with due respect, if the governors are saying, say, look, more beyond to Kenya than anyone, they are right. They are right. I think that the people are not being fair to the governors in their tradition. I just go for yeah. There's an account no change. It's an account. I go for the Kobani and San 9. It's an account. So media come over back on the animal to
it doesn't sound fair.
And you're in the floor. Now, as I said, you're still probably
that's a fair argument to make, Nana. But is it about that? And I say, is it about presenting a credible candidate who has a better chance of winning power for the party?
He's competent, he's capable, he's level-minded. What do we have to be wasting our time?
Nana, what's that the journey there? How we are now?
No, because it is a political party. What's your doing a fake? Now, I will say a fake. But you are from South America. I mean, does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Martin, let's not beat a dead horse. Your friend Trejo. Now, is he going to be afforded the opportunity to explain what he meant? Because it's a democratic system.
For me, as a lawyer, in law, we have something known as by operation of law. Who LD? Jacobs, no NDC.
Yes.
And 2024, no campaign, and NDC for suspended. And I from different. I'm saying, but if you are NDC, no campaign, me nipa baumia, or campaign, I am there. But once you are a member of the NDC and you campaign for baumia, automatically you cease to be a member of the NDC. That is common sense. That is common sense. Non-knowledgeable person will be doing blowing hot and cold. No knowledgeable person.
So you think it's the same thing here?
Oh, now there's a non-knowledgeable person. Non-knowledgeable person will do that. This is a fake party. Fake party will say, so there's something. I'm sorry, the beginning say, I can't have a petition where I say, watch out and try a bob for this argument.
Radio, culture.
Your friend when you say, your bob.
Your friend, your bob. Oh, my above Guinness on them, maybe I'm not protesting. Look at that, I say, above, what do you have Guinness? The men some West.
Oh, yeah.
All I know for West. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to buy from watching posture. Yeah, what did you? No, that is quite painful. Very painful. Look, if you are in Ghana here, if you are in Ghana here, but we are some now, speak at us, Obiri Boahen. I could find the bear, one more post, one show, ATS, one more BBPR. And so, would you buy me a chip? We are sending a cabin away. So it looks like the sins of Akufaduna man for the British Tredia Kosabamiati. 7 years of the new. Don't mean any pop. I'm being very honest. Everybody went Jimmy. Who is a Akufadu Bay ATS? Bob the crown for one time, so one more post be out. One in the Muka. One show, dear, once everybody and show. What's an Akodibomiachi? Wouldn't you answer? Who would answer? I wouldn't answer.
And to the note, I said, Baumia, a separate entity, I bet me in a Jinan chain for Akufadu's failure. So, yet me and Akufadu's failure and for Baumia.
But they want to attach Yansen in your kind. Why do people treat Baumia like that? Oh, Jennifer, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it presumptive politics. But in some of our country, we are only about we are can't say we are mocking. So Akufado and functional. Akufado, 8 parliamentarians are working to Akufado to answer finance minister. Akufado as for Brachia once. Now then, that thing happened in Omeka. So Akufado, yes, you are not happy then. You are not happy in Ghana. 8 MPs about pass to some finance minister. Now we kill. A very effect on the party. Make a young Akufado Obiri Boahen poor question. We are better. Akufado appointment. We are better. Yamibe Tiak. As I'm sure we can name correct. Now I decided King of Sunkra in North Korea. The MP Sibakon was a finance minister. the effect on the MPP as a party?
The challenge, though, for me and for some other people, they say, ultimately, say, yeah, Dr. Baumia typically say, for instance, the successes, so-called, quote unquote, because I don't want us to debate that, government, present government, Chuck, it's as a result of policies that he had implemented. At the same time, Osasu claim said he didn't have room to operate. These two don't jazz up together, do they?
Do you know the history of the PDS? PDS,
PDS. Electricity, we say PDS as I'm now okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
PDS, but they better not check that no, we don't need to be washing our beer and dirty linen in public. But I think that it's so sad. Tebomia is being treated like that. I'm not offending you. Okay, at the Kumko for your man, no change. I go find the transaction and make a big certificate of criminals. I don't have the never call. How do you go about music? You go back to Pradia, which is more than you know, or Kenya, and for the Remover Kanya.
Nana, oh, shush, so Edu Boahen so awesome. Our party don't so Edu or say Edu Boahen the post Sanintino, they don't like that and they preferred another candidate. So they gave him just one chance.
That was the beginning.
It's based on something else. The party decided said they want to give Baumia just one chance.
We need to be honest, we need to be sincere.
I think say that's very much likely, right? But I'm more concerned about the unity of the party going forward.
Let me, I'm not boasting. I am not boasting. I will never boast. I am very honest, principled, and sincere person. In any political endeavor, in any religious endeavor, in any social endeavor. It is a group of being better than when you are building a society, now the party now gonna thinking how do you go on with everybody on board. Alan Martin, yes, I want to know all shut up, shut up, when challenge them. And it is a party, me and my castle from the 30 to now. So I'm feeling something quite people made there. And some people for John Economic because I cannot hold the party to ransom. I cannot hold the party to ransom.
So, Mama,
I'm tired of all these things.
Nana,
Obi Panicho.
Maybe I'm a Panicho one Kebeboa.
I'm Wagu. Because you need to instill discipline in a system, society, political party. You need to instill discipline.
So you're sacrificing the numbers, which is the primary object of the party, on the altar of.
I'm sacrificing numbers.
I'm sacrificing Lucifer in the team. I can take down numbers.
I don't think just discipline in heaven.
Nana, Mami Bissau, this is at the party, no. It has to wrap up from the party, Mami Bissau. The leadership of the party, some time ago, the acting chairman, who is also the vice chairman, no, suggested none of the leaders should present themselves for re-election. Are you comfortable with the leadership of your party right now? Last question.
Listen, I'm not comfortable And I've not been comfortable with every single leader of the party at any point. It's a human institution. I am not comfortable. And the MPP for the party to up. Obiri can you say no person or contest here? Is that Obiri Miko? Gamboadu was the general secretary. Order Obeko. About 15 regional chairmen Kasui in the chief. Oko and so Kulusi Anamboy.
Radio culture.
No correct.
So if you are someone, Bute no Akayano. Memen can say wholesale beer resign. What would they say? You leave it to the conscience of the MPP members. Because they are mature, discerning enough. So if you say back to about being your baby man, not calling your baby man, but don't catch them and say, master philosopher, master historian, master soothsayer. What did you say?
What's that master soothsayer?
Master soothsayer.
Master prophet.
Master prophet, master philosopher, master historian, master soothsayer. Who is MPP? National officers. Omuya be Diasan. Now Mkaso Basana Aqua. Me a hini betivinya. The master soothsayer make you say. Nini is both region, both national and brand. Two over 10 problem. Oh yeah. What's a major people for? So what I say, yes, someone. What was the question? I'm party. Say I'm party. John, I was the deputy general secretary. Gamboadu was the general secretary. Or regional chairman for he enjoyed the support of 16, 14, he enjoyed the support. And so that's what about this is maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, I'm beautiful. But I want to party no be a soon bio. Soon. Gamboadu the other man for say Gamboadu show Obiri Boahen. Gamboadu show Obiri Boahen. You are not treating me well. You are not treating me well. Don't tell me you're timber.
Into the Ujayama MPP for now say you are not comfortable with the current leadership, but you are leaving the choice for the delegates not to make. Sana meetings are working.
Yeah, because they will decide.
And you think, say, 2028, the party stands a chance?
Oh, why not? They stand a chance. Provided they'll put their acts together. Putting their acts together on a selection of candidates for parliamentary elections. What may be a Nakadan to be? Naka delegates in the Kacha. As a Cafon Bravo. As Cafon Bravo, as Cafon Biduman popular. Into a Bravo on your popular Nintino.
Or see eventually. This will see eventually on your popular Nintino.
Oh, now 24 is on the calendar.
In your heart of hearts, Nana, now Ujidi said, Dr. Baomi Abetimi winning 2024, last election. Now Ujidi said, Dr. Baomi, in your heart of hearts, as the master should say.
Yeah, no, you said, Obetima, whenever Namu said, never be super quite young. Look, the Oforeta incident was a serious thing. The National Cathedral was a very serious thing. But you know, and then in 72 and this is for Kanyana, and you're not correct. What I say, oh, you're back, Nansape. Galan say the call it to be a thing of the past. Make us some one into Munko. Ghana for you to say. And this all the Galan say theater. Ne body light in the day. But I say about LGBTQ. Mahama saying about what you saying.
There are dynamics to both issues I was raising. Yeah, rapid up into something reactive to, but I think that there are some dynamics to that. But I get a broader point now. We'll make And
if you know the history of this country very well, starting from the UGC, while the UGC have been very honest and principled, the CPP, the PMP, and then PNDC, the truck. Won't you say Ghana quiet? Oh, they were so quiet. I want to call court to me. I want a prescription with us, which in your kind. I see a car crying in your quiet, living together and see. That's so by the tradition also this some people are handicapped. This in Ibaka with the throne and people young.
Is that a fact?
Let me look at it. Mekasa as an honest and sincere politician. But I'm listening and control people from where the trust and what you have
now, then they are very debatable, but again, there are people to be perceived about too much into that. Then the time when debating a card in Uganda elections, someone said that now.
Oh, yeah, now what you said that.
Now what you said there. Martin.
This is a moment you want to move across Africa, and I'm going to say.
Nana, someone I'm moving in there can't say no. Yeah, they have a friend, no more articulate as a number. Tell me the pastor what just I say way about. Then you no point so. AES.
Bob Marley. I said black and white. We are all equal. I'm saying
really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say.
Things don't what happened in Cameroon. The man is so old, he couldn't do campaign. Say, Tanzania, people died.
Okay.
That's why I'm in Uganda. That's why I'm in Cote d'Ivoire, we amend the constitution as an accompany. That's why I'm in So sometimes I'm not blaspheming. Everybody, I'm saying the concept of God. It's saying I'm not comfortable saying I'm saying before I try to prove it. No, you come to Ghana. Obisi ya kwajilo ya sky free. Na Ghana train cry of welcome. Na krachi ni biati asese ya kwajilo ya sky free. There's no madness.
Otimi ya idea na Kenya madness, but so you know why you are then of course. Oh, but it exists in other places, right? It is Otimi ya idea. The ground training Radio, culture. Nana, what the great time I share from my side each other no because come with the do with our CP meaning say what normal other things also way.
They were called history, they were called
What did that person you know here going forward? You start to World Cup now. You be from now what my your projections and what you think now there on the World Cup repertoire power.
No, from why not? You know.
But most of all, they been here from Empire history and kasa history power.
World Cup. West Africa, I want to be history World Cup.
Yes,
now back to Ghana, back to the.
Oh, and I'm saying there's always infrastructure. Maybe I mean, we say not too far from here, Arlington, Ghana, one of their games was Arlington, not too far from here. Almost infrastructure. It is a bad say Unya by Papa will discount. That's only a one shady and I say, or the Akaku to a man.
Good leader. If I want to get a Burkina Faso leader,
it's
a good leader. Now,
it's your friend next time I back AES in someone said Sahelian region. No, you back almost politics in Wasa. Apart from Uganda, and AES said they're more banging for me immediate neighbors. Into your throw back and so on. But finally, Nana answer me Pachopi. Just 30 seconds. President Mahama 1 year in, and in his second year, sign a was so far as an objective politician. No.
I think that's all you feel. I think that's how I am very successful. I'm not so sure why you feel no. But I definitely like that. He has instilled and injected some amount of discipline into our body politics. What I say? He has instilled and injected discipline into our body. Look at his appointments. Region Bia benefited. Deputy ministers, Region Bia. That is good. That is good. What I say, region, check his cabinet ministers, region BN. Check his deputy ministers, region BN. Check DCs and now when you scapa common fund. NDP time, this canon call. Ramadan Boko wrote a letter to the president about NaCCA. President can't wash it. So he has injected discipline into body politics, which is good. Why Obia region beyond a ministerial appointment? That is very good. Laudable, remarkable. You know?
But beyond
the shortcoming on here. The shortcoming here say you don't pursue Nkukwankete project. You don't do that. Because the private sector is the engine of push. Until the amount now the pharma company, pharma bank, so that is not good.
But I didn't think said way Bosnian. I thought that this was a social intervention. Yeah, they actually like pumping it into the because they mark for free, right? Yes, but now what's your model now? There are people along the value chain. There are people who would secure. There are people who would supply these things, and so there's still levels of that.
No. And one the set through the financial before years, in a pa. Chicago as a band or project for Japan, you went to man in a year. When I'll be here. Because African, who got my constituency, Chama, could be, I don't know, Uncle Thomas Canamera and Uncle Thomas.
Uncle Thomas, not a salary.
I'm showing you something, someone just.
You better kind of was Nana. You better that chance in the Yaka policies was in detail.
Make us say, when there'll be because I'm a brilliant. But make us say, why are dear so process? No.
Scale of 1 to 10. Scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'll make you 5 out of 10.
5.
Yeah, I'll make it 5.
Okay. And which area?
Because what about policy? But the good says $1 no 8 million. What you manage in a country. But the person says scarcity. You don't have the dollar. You don't get them. Don't get the dollar. You see? But you know, let me finish. You know, it's like okay, no.
Yo,
I know something with child now the person.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Like I said, you better have fraud that they are shared policies and so. And so next time we have fraud, you better that I'm a heads up normally 2 hours straight. Yo, yeah, that's it. Yo, Nana Obiri Boahen, yeah, that's it. Any Obiri. Obia Edgeson Nana Oba so Yabeka New York Bronx as no ewo etie ho.
Viewers and then listeners,
but what I say? You better text we say details now, bro. Your multiple platforms, so to say. Remember producer and the numbers now, bro. Of course, certainly a fraud.
Maybe I make it 10,000.
Interesting. Yo, Nana, CP, you better sign Akasabi. Yo, all right. Nana Obiri Boahen, a stalwart of the new Patriotic Party. And we have been discussing we've been discussing the NPP. Is it imploding or is it reshaping? What some very interesting perspectives on what is going on within the party. And I would just say we're grateful for it. Thank you very much for staying with us. Hopefully, we'll be bringing you our second interview with Moses Foh Amoaning very soon. Before that, let's go for a short break.
But today, I said, Mama, I'm getting married. I could hear her voice on the other side of the telephone. She was smiling. Then she asked me a question, and I brought the answer. She said, Brother, if you take time to know him, I said, Mama, vete papa, no, ni mismo. But today it hurts me so to go back to Mama and say, Mama, I'm getting divorced. Oh, I'm getting divorced. Oh, this choice I made didn't work out the way I thought it would. This choice I made, it hurts me so, Mama, 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 Mama. Whoa, this choice I made didn't
Hot a fire burn them. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. The wrath of God upon them.
I am your chief, yourselves on fire. You're killing people every day. Anytime you open your mouth, I feel like you're leading my people astray.
Government by family and friend, corruption never end. You tell us said you are God sent, but when we turn around the bend, you thieving with a pen. Waffy with family, and I struggle for friend. And when you come after we, like the cock on the end. What a pity when we sell our dignity as men. Politicians them attack we from the rear end. Lead we to a dead end. And the fake preacher telling I and I feel repent. With the money in my pocket is the mountain I get. And when the gap are ever widen, fences can mend. So this question I send.
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
And me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Whoa, hot a fire bonding. Until they change their mind, the wrath of God upon them.
Through your lies and deception, wrong education, you're posing yourself one way. But when the church and the state collaborate to keep us in slavery.
And by the ballot and the bullet, they put their gun to your head. Them say you have the right to talk, but talk too loud and you dead. It's like them have a different system for the leader and the leader. Hurt to run red. So get the youth boss rise and show them how things be run. If them can't do it, come and make me show them how we done. And we now no more room for them like them days are gone. Up your fire burner. And I mean say,
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
and me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Where the money oh?
I don't know.
So where the money dey? Hiding in the Cayman Islands. So where the money dey? Invested in foreign lands. So where the money dey? Me personally, I don't know. So where the money dey? Where the money dey oh? And I mean say hot a fire burn them. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. And the wrath of God upon them. Until them change their mind. Wrath of God upon them. But for people plan, wrath of God upon them. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Bella.
Oh, boy. Sikenu, wedi.
Hey!
Mbaskayo!
Sikana way.
Nakudi.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for staying through the show. We have been trying to raise our second guest for the interview, Moses Foh Amoaning, but unfortunately, we are having trouble raising Moses Foh Amoaning on the line. We're going to go ahead with the show, however, and bring you our GH reports, after which we'll also bring you agriculture and, of course, arts and culture. We're still waiting for Justice Marfo to join us for GH Reports. Please stay and enjoy spot of music. As soon as Justice comes, we will be right on with GH Reports. All right, we're right back. Yes, her name is Rena, Top Girl Rena, one of Ghana's amazing songbirds currently, young, energetic female singer doing a version of that Lucky Dube track right there. It's time for GH Reports, and we have our man, Justice Marfo. Justice, and then also, I will going to say.
Ghana na dey say there bibia hwe isatala Dramani Mahamani ya no yama di bronya wi 2026 so aboy ho ban dem e kobo na pa na ye dey ni kirem kiti asema for hene na na da to do so to so e pa pushai tino etna ye jeli posto ye dey ni kirem e wo man share kirem and some kind of it is for into my na fani dey ni minister responsible for gender and social after no delegation actually mo result enya to prayer and komo na obi ye Dr. Agnes na mulat ono na delegation any ma omofoye citizens periodic review United Nations Committee on Rights of the Child. Jumadi yakoso ama NPP na nekasa jumadi na Parliament for Kumawu constituency temu ya honorable yaw enim and some efa na economy mo honorable NS nim bra
I wanted to also support the question around the elimination of child labor and trafficking in Ghana and the role of Parliament. I think with the establishment of the Human Rights Committee last year, together with UNICEF and some other NGOs, we worked together on oversight visits. We had some selected districts within Ghana where we had some monitoring and oversight activities where we were able to provide some bit of sensitization to parents and the communities on the dangers of child labor and how best Parliament can also support in the advocacy activities. And it was very, very helpful and very, very insightful. We visited 2 districts over 4 days, and there are plans this year to also work together with UNICEF and IPU to also visit some of the selected districts within the northern sector of Ghana. So we are currently working together with the ministry as well to ensure that the ministry's agenda and government's agenda in eliminating child labor is also sustained. So that would be a sustained effort by Parliament and the various committees that have oversight responsibility over.
Honorable and right and Switzerland na copy Dr. Agnes na ma represent Ghana na enkwada wo ho nsem na ewo Ghana Jumakuo no ma'am Grace and I'm efficacy between common and not the also and to mean one efficacy movie meeting and police is sad IGP Christian Tete Yohunu when could na all police one up na what ya more form but Christian Tete Yohunu enya akwanya Ghana for nkomo no wakire omo se Ghana police say no omo yen sakraye wo mu a police for no ebo omo ho modern ye pa na omo make sure say nipa bi obey wadwen say omo madamude ya chew was say your process on your court also so by wadwen say obepe bibi kakra na de ama police ni no say na be ya obenya afa ahode de say sa de no atwam say ye police ni je bribe no sa de no atwam kura ene akromfo o Ghana hanom no mbetu on so sa ukopie mu say be o ma me dem kura o mbeto awo na omo baba be chew na mra no ene wadi no nyono na wabra na Christian Tete Yohunu kasa no na o address media no ensem sei na odi to Ghana for so ji kini say you be go ahoma to a ye dey bo ama mebi ka ko jin ko Christian Tete Yohunu
Justice, yeah, better to story, okay, please. Hold your thoughts right there. We'll come back to that story in a brief moment. We have our next guest, lawyer.
Okay.
You know, we have been trying to reach him. He was in transit, but he's graciously agreed to join us. It's a moment call to lawyer, and then we'll come back for you to do your final report, please. Okay?
Understood.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Be on standby, please. Don't go away. All right. And ladies, and there you go. Okay. We are going to cross over now to go speak with lawyer and advocate Moses Foh Amoaning. As I said at the beginning of the show, lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning is somebody who needs very little introduction, especially if you come from my era, back in the day when he was on TV and all of that. We'll find time to talk about that also. But you say we are here for a little bit of some serious business. Let's go over and go talk to lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning, who is joining us by phone. Unfortunately, he's unable to join us by TV also because he's in transit. Next time we get him, hopefully he can join us on TV as well. But right now, let's cross over to go speak with lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning. Lawyer, thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you too. And I think it's afternoon now. So which state are you operating from? So at least I am
in Texas, sir. We're operating from the Dallas area in Texas.
Wow, so you're about 7 hours behind us. That's a lot of time.
About 6 hours, yes.
Okay, so you probably still be in the morning, sort of.
Yes.
Getting close to.
We're headed towards midday right now.
Great, lovely. Okay, so, good morning to all your listeners. Just about 2 minutes to the top of the hour. And in Ghana, it's getting to the evening. It's pretty cool here. The weather is getting colder because of the Hamatan. So you can imagine very dry, very humid, and we'll see how it all goes. But thanks a lot for linking up with us.
Thank you very much, lawyer. So let's talk about this a little bit. Just the other day, we heard that you had called for an inquiry into the affairs of the NaCCA, the curriculum board people. What prompted this, lawyer?
Well, let me start, it from this way. The thing is, the national organization, the regulatory body that produces curriculum for our school children, from the primary school right up to the senior high school is this NaCCA, it's a curriculum and council, that an authority that has been established to look at what goes into the education that we give to our children.
Yeah.
And as you know, the LGBT movement is all about advocacy. And they have a cradle to grave strategy. You are living in Texas. I'm sure you know that there's an LGBT choir in California, and they have a song that says, "We are coming for your children." If you Google, you're going to see it. And the reason is very simple. The LGBT movement knows that when it comes to people like myself and the older generation, we have our own stock views on these matters. We don't think it's culturally appropriate, and we can't even live by it. So the whole idea is, let's get to the young people, let's use the educational medium, and the best way to change people's mindset. And by the way, I'm sure you know that the LGBT movement is the most, influential social movement in the 21st century. They have changed minds. If you go back to the data from the 50s, nobody was interested in LGBT in America or even in Europe. If you mention it, you're going to run into lots of trouble. But over 40 years, they have changed people's minds to such an extent that it is something that people prefer. If you look at the Gen Z generation and all the data, in fact, I was reading something this afternoon that shows that right now, the age at which people come out, as they say, as falling from 23, 24, about 10 years ago to 17 years. And it's all because the education system has been utilized, especially in the Biden era and in Obama's era as well, to change people's mindsets. So education and the content of the things that go into it to make the whole LGBT phenomena acceptable and normal, it has a lot to do with education. And so we in Ghana and Africa are very, those of us who have come together to kind of respond to the LGBT agenda, our critical area that we are looking out for is how these things, these LGBT ideas and normalization of LGBT activities is being seeped into our educational system. Sadly, they start right from the top, including the United Nations. United Nations, UNESCO, for example, has become a very critical tool. That is UNESCO, United Nations Educational and Children and Cultural Organization. That has been used as a tool for pushing educational material into third world and other countries who are resistant to LGBT ideas. And NaCCA has been very, very instrumental in coalescing these ideas and secretly smuggling them into Ghanaian, educational content. Those of you who follow, you know that when this the whole idea of comprehensive sexuality education is an LGBT-driven educational toolkit to influence young people, right from when they are born, educating them right through toddler section to kindergarten, right up to secondary school, and even the university. So those of you who remember, I followed it, those of you Ghanaians, in 2017, 2018, this same NaCCA, where the conduit through which the comprehensive sexuality education was being brought, into the Ghanaian educational system. Thankfully, we caught them, we accosted them. The national debate went on, and within a few days, the government itself withdrew all the literature. By the way, tons and tons of literature have been produced and paid for, and some of them have been shipped into Ghana with LGBT material. But when we accosted them, that material was posted. So it's the same NaCCA. I'm placing the whole thing into a context so your listeners can understand that this is not just happening. It is part of the LGBT strategy to influence society and to normalize LGBTQ plus activities, especially in countries and in cultures that are resistant to these whole ideas. And that's why we feel that it's not just a matter of, a grassy maka, and so, okay, it's a mistake, let's forget about it. No, we're saying, I'm sorry, that can't happen. We have to investigate and find out what is happening.
What's going on there? Because you see a recurrence of that. Yep. But why would NaCCA do that? What do you think is going on there? At this point, we're only conjecture, let me say. What do you think is going on there?
Let me give you the facts. People are being paid to do what they're doing. Now, let me refer you to since President Trump took over in the United States as president. You know, he's gone after the U.S. aid. If you Google right now to the money, how the monies of U.S. aid were being utilized, you will see that a huge chunk of U.S. aid money, U.S. taxpayers' money, including those of the people in Texas who don't like LGBTQ plus activities, that money was being funneled into third world countries to fund LGBTQ plus activities, including educational things like NaCCA. You know, if you Google, you're going to see it. And I remember President Trump even laughing at some of the countries in Congo, blah, blah, all sorts of funny things. We have asked, you know, for the details in respect of Ghana and how much money was got into Ghana. We know that the Ghana AIDS Commission, for example, received about $200 million to use for, to support, you know, what they call some condoms and other things for MSM, that is men sleeping with men. And those money, some of them were channeled into institutions like NaCCA to push this agenda. So the reality
these are facts.
Yes. People are being paid to do what they're doing. And it's not only NaCCA. I'm sure we're going to talk about it when we have more time the next time. TRASH, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, is another institution that's been corrupted. So we are asking for a total investigation, not only by the executive arm of government, that is the Ministry of Education. We're asking that they set up a committee, a ministerial committee, to investigate NaCCA and find out what is happening. We're also calling on Parliament, because Parliament has a supervisory, control over executive institutions and regulatory bodies. We are asking the Parliamentary Subcommittee on Education and Culture to investigate what has happened, but not only that, also to investigate TRASH and other UN agencies in Ghana, which as I've indicated, have all been corrupted by progressive elements around the world.
That is even more dire than I thought. But what would the interest of the LGBTQ lobby be with TRASH, for instance? With NaCCA, you explained that excellently. But with TRASH...
let me explain. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice is a state institution that deals with human rights issues. Now, one of the clever things that the LGBT movement has done is to try and capture LGBT activities and LGBT so-called rights as part of international human rights law. That is part of the deception that has been, perpetrated on all of us. And in fact, until I started raising these points and researching, a lot of Ghanaian lawyers believed, and even Walter believed, that LGBTQ plus rights were part of human rights. Because that's part of the argument that they use a lot. Oh, it is human right. It's part of international human right. That's a big lie from hell. I'm challenging any lawyer, American, Ghanaian, English. Show me any of the United Nations standard covenants, the United Nations Human Rights Declaration, the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, the ECOSOC rights, United Nations Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Children, right of violence against women. Show me any of the standard UN covenants that has got LGBTQ plus written directly or expressly in any of these covenants. I am challenging any United States lawyer who's listening to me. Show me the law. Let me see. It is part of their strategy. Because LGBT, you see, there's all. Well,
so you say there's nothing in the United Nations.
Nothing. You won't see anything.
Which even speaks about sexual rights, anything like that.
There's nothing in any of the UN covenants talking about sexual rights and LGBT. Nothing. What they do is to imply it. They presuppose that the LGBT plus community is a minority, so you are discriminating. Says who? So can I also say that people who practice polygamy also are being discriminated against? So the United States should allow polygamy. Can I make that argument? You are living in the United States. Is polygamy allowable in the United States?
In very restricted places, if you really check it out, there are communities that are living, that practice that, but in very controlled circumstances.
Your practice is illegal. I will give you the United States law, lots of federal laws that are against polygamy.
That's right.
All of them. They don't allow things like that. You say, if you constitute the LGBT community, and by the way, what's the meaning of LGBTQ+? All of that is also part of their strategy. Bring all sorts of things together so they can get the numbers. Because if we go through all these letters, every one of them is distinctive. Question, why did they put all of that together? But I'm sure that's a question for another time. The question I'm trying to address is why STRAJ has become the focal point for LGBTQ+ lobby. And I'm explaining to you that it is part of their strategy to couch LGBT rights as part of human rights law. I'm saying that that's false, and I will explain it if I have time.
Please.
But the point is, all international state institutions that deal with human rights, there is an umbrella UN organization that puts all of them together. 2 or 3 times a year, they all go to Geneva. And the LGBT lobby has put a lot of pressure and a lot of money to lobby these state institutions so that they will agree with them that LGBT rights are part of international human rights law. I'm saying that that's not true. Next time when I have the time, I'll get into the details and give you the law. All right? So
I hear you.
We have the STRAJ community here, the chairperson, he's my own mate, Joe Whittle. We have tracked him. He's been going to Geneva over the last 5, 6, 7 years. He's been to Geneva more than 30 times. And when they go there, they try and influence them instead of the STRAJ, that is a Ghanaian human rights institution, championing the Ghanaian view and the African viewpoint as to what are proper human rights. He's rather pushing the agenda of Europeans and, well, I wouldn't say all Americans, with some progressive viewpoint as to LGBT rights being human rights. Mr. Nidimwa, let's speak a bit of tree, because I don't want to offend your listener. Mr. Obama, if somebody wants to enter through the exit, is it even human? You are sitting in the studio, try and put water in your ears and see. Do you put water in your ears? You can't. If you start putting water in your ears right now, I'm sure the producers are going to come for you because they will say there's something wrong with you. All right? These are all abnormal behavior. If people have these problems and have a passion to want to enter through the exit, it means there's a problem. What the person needs is a bit of guidance and help out of that situation. You don't glamorize it. Unfortunately, some people have decided in Western Europe to glamorize it. Well, that's your choice. In fact, we say,
how would you respond to people who would also say that in as much as you don't glamorize it, you also don't penalize it?
We don't. The point is, you want to glamorize it. We don't want to glamorize it. But people who want to glamorize it and advocate and sponsor, they are the ones that we're after. And if you want to glamorize it, you are the one. If you want to stand in the street and show it, we're going to arrest you, because just as a prostitute cannot exhibit himself here in Ghana, we will not allow that. Or somebody can go and even have incest. I hear this about privacy. Says who? So it means that if I'm having sex with my daughter and it is in my house, then it's not a criminal offense. Says who? So all of that is false. Look, I will take my time and break down the arguments one by one, and you will see there's a lot of falsehood and a lot of hogwash that have been thrown around all over the place. If a human being, look, all of us human beings have problems. Thankfully, let me end on this note if you don't have time. Thankfully, in Ghana, our coalition has created a huge hospital, and we cater for people with all these problems. We see it as a medical problem that has got psychiatric angles, psychological angles, endocrinological, which is hormonal imbalance problems, psycho counseling problems, and sometimes spiritual problems. There are angles to these things. So we have a treatment system that we call a holistic sexual therapy system, and we've been applying it over the period. We've helped hundreds of Ghanaians who've come to us. And we have a hospital, as I said, we've got professors of psychiatry, psychology, endocrinology, surgery, counseling, and surgery. Spiritual people who are blessed by the power of the Holy Spirit, who can guide people out of these things. And we are offering help. So if somebody has that problem, by the law, I'm sure we're going to talk about the bill that is before Parliament. In that bill, we stated that if somebody has a problem, during investigation, arrest, trial, sentencing, even while he's in prison, if he feels that he really wants help, then we're not going to throw the person into prison. We're going to give him the sort of help that he requires. But if he says, I love it, I like it, I want to expose Sorry, we don't do those things here. In America, if somebody wants to practice polygamy, you're going to arrest the person. Instead, the person will be arrested. We don't promote prostitution. We don't do that. Why is this guy in prison? I've got him, this famous Sean Diddy Combs. He's in prison because of trafficking and, he did the federal offense didn't stick, but the other ones for whom he was arrested, all right? So we don't know, so we once we are prohibited in Ghana in terms of our law, if you come and expose yourself and show up, we're going to arrest you and we're going to prosecute you. Because we don't, unnatural carnal knowledge is an offense here in Ghana. And by the way, that was not introduced by the colonialists. Ghana got independence in 1957. The Criminal Offences Act that made unnatural carnal knowledge an offense was passed in 1960. So I've had a lot of propaganda saying, it's part of colonial rule. I am sorry. Ghanaian cultural values, long before the white man came, was against such behavior. Although we're people with those tendencies, we tended to have a way of helping them out. And I'll give you countless examples the next time we meet.
Yes. So we will actually go into those details right now. You've raised my interest in getting into the details of all this. But let's focus on the probe, if you will, or the inquiry that you're asking for now. And we'll also go into the bill, as you've indicated. Now, you've mentioned NaCCA, you've mentioned SHRAC. Which other institutions are potentially going to be affected? Mm-hmm.
Well, there are lots of institutions. I'm giving you all the United Nations agencies here in Ghana. That one, we want the investigation conducted by Parliament's subcommittee on foreign affairs, on foreign relations, because Ghana is a member of the United Nations. And if, as a member, the institutions or the agencies of the United Nations which are subject to the membership, the General Assembly, if it is going wayward or pushing ideas that are progressive and against the general desire of a majority of members of, then we have a right to investigate and say that, no, we don't like the way you use the money. For example, President Trump has withdrawn the United States from the World Health Organization. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
And he's done so because the WHO is not a rogue organization. Go and look at their definition for sexual rights and even prostitution. It will amaze you. They're even allowing children, the definition is allowing children, they have children's rights, such that children can even enter into prostitution at a certain age, It's so ridiculous. So the World Health Organization itself has gone AWOL, it's become rogue now. And there are a lot of UN agencies that are not responding to the core mandate that was given to them. I'll give you the example of UNESCO. That is now being used to funnel a lot of false educational material and normalizing all sorts of things. All right? People talk about intersex rights. Let me give you let's use intersex as an example. We call them hermaphrodites here in Ghana, or if somebody is born and he's got both male and female sex organs, right? That is a medical abnormality. But the fact is, you can correct it. When a child is born and is intersex, you can always check genetically or chromosomally by the chromosomal markings whether it's male or female. So it doesn't matter the sort of aesthetic changes that the person goes through. You can take hormones and become a man, a boy, or change whatever you want to change. But the reality is, my brother, your chromosomal markings will never change. Your genetic markings will never change. But when you die, your bone structure, if you're male, is only male and female. It doesn't matter what the LGBT movement says, which is rather sad, because they have deceived all of us to such an extent that even
Hello? Radio Culture. Mm-hmm. Lawyer, still there?
Hello, am I there?
Yeah. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just saying that I thought the Western European culture is built on science, verifiable facts. But a lot of the LGBTQ+ positions are counter to medical science. For example, you tell me that the other gender, really? I mean, I have told you that whether you aesthetically change your gender to take hormones, whatever you do to yourself, there are only two genders, male and female. And if you die, in fact, there's a little video which was all over the place. I think it went viral. President, what's his name? I think they used AI to generate a speech by President Biden. And at the end of it, the person said that if you die and you go into the grave, your bone is either male or female. That's a medical fact. You can't change it. It doesn't matter what anybody says. So I'm just giving an example of how the United Nations or the World Health Organization, which is a UN agency, is running even counter to basic biological facts. And I'm saying that for intersex, if somebody is born intersex, we can know whether he's male or female. And therefore, at birth, when we discover it, we can go through surgery to correct it. And make, if it is female, we take out the male part, and then we allow the female parts to grow properly, because abnormalities happen with human beings. For example, Siamese twins or conjoined twins. When they are born, we don't say, oh, let us wait till they grow before, we perform surgery to separate them. Is that what we say? Of course not. We don't say that. So, but the LGBT movement, the two is lobbying of the World Health Organization. Now I've got what they call intersex child rights, something funny. Indeed, our current Constitutional Review Committee wanted to sneak it into our law.
Speaking of which, lawyer,
we're going to address that. Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me ask you, what exactly did you detect in the curriculum that sounded the alarm bells for you, that rose the hairs on your arm?
The definition of gender identity. We won't read it. The definition was saying that it's not just male and female, but has to do with people whose genders don't correspond to their biological sex, but also the way they feel, or something, to that effect. They were not holding on to the biological definition of male and female, which is what President Trump has come to change anyway. All right, and we're saying that a person can identify and be any gender that he feels. What kind of nonsense is that?
That was in the Ghanaian curriculum. At what level? At what level and in what subject?
Oh, it was in health. I think physical education, health. Something. You Google, you get all the details, but it's all there. Yes, that's it's one of the material that was printed by NaCCA, and they've withdrawn it. Is there any debate about it? Are you debating it?
No, not at all. Not at all. We just want to educate our listeners as much as possible.
Yeah. So if you Google, you will get the exact document. I don't have, as I said, I'm in transit. So
that's right.
I don't have the exact. The health, education, physical.
No, but to answer the question though, you don't have to give us exact. At least you pointed us in the direction. What exactly you had consensus, so we can go and Google that for ourselves and find it out. But also, so NaCCA withdrew the curriculum. What was their reason for withdrawing the curriculum?
No, they said it was a mistake. That's all they said. No other reason. They said it was an error, and they're going to correct it. By the way, the Ghana National Association of Teachers have indicated that they recognize the problem. They raised it finally a couple of months ago, and nobody listened to them. It was because it came out, and there was a hue and cry. That's why they're running away from it. So those who had been paid to put it there, they were not prepared to change it. It was when the public.
So which ministry oversees NaCCA? I'm assuming that to be the Ministry of Education.
Exactly, that's what it is.
What is
the ministry ordered them to withdraw, and they have withdrawn, and all the publications have been removed out of the system. But it doesn't mean the people in there are going to change. That's why we're asking for the investigation. Because I've told you that these were the same people who brought the comprehensive sexuality education matter. So they have a history of behaving like this. And they are paid helplings of the LGBT lobby and LGBT movement around the world.
What has the ministry's reaction been towards the withdrawal of the curriculum, or towards the uproar?
No, they actually ordered it, and they said, well, they are surprised that this thing has come up. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has spoken loudly against it, and everybody has been in arms against the government, because don't forget that this current government came to power on the wings of even passing the LGBT bill. The whole posture of the previous government, my own good friend, former President Akufo-Addo, one of the things that brought his party into the abysmal defeat they suffered was his own support for the LGBT movement. He clearly liked it, And he was, despite the fact that Ghanaians are given a mandate to rule according to our will on this matter, he said his will prevails. And Ghanaians showed him the red card in his party, and they were thrown out of power. So this particular, issue was very vital to the elections. And this government was on the opposing side. So these matters, the fact that the bill that they said they were going to pass has not been passed, when this issue of the curriculum also came back up, honestly, it was a huge political storm for them here.
I see. Speaking of the bill, let's look into it a little bit. I know that it's been reviewed and everything, but whatever we're going to say at this point, I guess, will be based on what was put out earlier, right? I hear it's going to be reviewed before it will be represented or whatever, if the case be that way. But to what degree are you involved in the framing of that bill? Were you involved in it at all?
Well, let me explain my position. The thing is that I'm the executive secretary of the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values. This is a huge amalgamation of Ghanaian Christian, all our Christian groups, the ecumenical groups. That's Christian Council of Ghana, Calibrisos Conference, Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, National Association of Charismatic Churches, all the Christian groups, and the para-Christian groups like Full Gospel,
Scripture Union,
Scripture Union, GAFES, Boys Brigade, Girls Brigade, everybody's involved. And then we have the Muslim brothers with us as well, both the Ahmadis and then the Sunnis as well. In fact, the chief imam is our patron. And then we have our, traditional rulers, both Queen Mothers and all the houses of chiefs, traditional houses, councils, regional house of chiefs, national chiefs, they're all a part of our coalition. That is the coalition of which I'm the executive secretary. So when I speak, I speak as a lawyer when I have to, but in my conversation with you now, I'm speaking as executive secretary and the spokesperson of the coalition. Now, the coalition was a major sponsor of the bill. Your question is, were we involved? Of course, yes. We're very much involved in developing the policy plans and the actual drafting of the bill itself. It is something that we had pursued. The coalition was inaugurated on the 18th of December 2013. So this year we're going to be 13 years old. So it's very much part of our advocacy. So we're very much involved in it.
I see. And so I would assume that you're very comfortable with the bill as was presented.
Well, good question about as it was passed. As it was presented, we were part of the delegation that presented to the what's called Speaker of Parliament. When did we do that? I think in 2023 or thereabout. If you check on Google, you will see the picture. The day it was the private members bill was presented by the. I don't think we were fully 8, but we had our representative there. I think Apostle Fogo, who was the chairman of the council, was there, and a few other people. I wasn't there, but as it was presented, well, we had a few. The original thing that we drafted had a bit of more of a policy balance. And let me explain. The policy balance was this: that as I told you, we view LGBTQ practices as an abnormality, but we don't glamorize it. But we provide care, treatment, and support for those who require that help. Unfortunately, because the private members bill in Ghana by Article 106 of the Constitution is not supposed to impose a charge on the exchequer, the cost of care, treatment, and support became a problem during the consideration stage. That is when it was being discussed at the Parliamentary Legal Committee level. People said, well, if you're not careful and there's cost, treatment, and support, it's going to be a cost and people can object to it in court. And actually, that was the basis of the court action that was initiated. So those bits and pieces about care, treatment, and support, although the drafting language that we use stated clearly that the cost, treatment, and support was supposed to be borne not by the state, but by the individual or CSOs like our coalition, because we've been treating people for free. We've been doing this is something we've been doing. Although the drafting language was clear, there were arguments. So those provisions on care, treatment, and support were taken out, and also flexible sentencing policy, which is very critical to us, because you made the point that if if you don't like the glamorization, you don't need to penalize. That was a lovely phraseology. I explained to you why we can penalize. But the truth is, as a faith-based coalition, our Sofos were keen on creating a balance. It's not just a matter of throwing people into prison, because if people have got hormonal problems, if people have gotten into LGBT activities because of social pressure or peer pressure or money matters or biological reasons, the hormonal imbalance I'm talking about, you don't just pick up that person and throw him into prison. It's not going to solve anything. So we were keen on offering help. And by the way, as I've indicated, we have a hospital that provides that treatment already. So from our experience, the policy plan was to ensure that when during arrest, investigation, trial, sentence, even while he's in prison, if the person wants help, you give him the help. You don't throw the person to prison. Prison and the penal punishment was limited to specifically for those who are sponsoring, who are advocating, who are pumping money into the system, and who say, we love it, we like it, they want to show it out. But for those who really need help, we wanted them to be helped. Unfortunately, as I said, because of the legal trappings of private members' bill, this was excluded, and the flexible sentencing policy was also taken out. So the bill, as was passed on the 28th of February 2024, had these deficiencies. And that is why, for example, when the current president said, okay, he's been voted in, the LGBT issue was a particular plank of his campaign. And so he wanted the Attorney General to bring it as a public bill rather than the private members' bill. Public bill will not suffer from the legal difficulties that I've explained. So we were in support of the public bill being brought by Attorney General. Unfortunately, the president promised this in January last year. It has not happened. All right. So if your question is, were we involved? Of course we were. Are we happy with what was finally passed? No.
Why do you think it hasn't happened yet? Why do you think the president has not prioritized?
Very good question. I mean, politicians, when they are in opposition, their language is different. But when they get into government, then they change. They claim all sorts of pressures that I don't even understand. Because to be honest with you, former President Akufo-Addo claimed that President Biden, the United States, democratic government, was very much LGBT oriented. But Trump is not. As you can see, he has rolled back a lot of the LGBT stuff, and especially transgenderists. He's rolled back a lot of things. And if Ghana, wants to do what he wants to, I don't think Trump is going to put any pressure. Even in Europe, the Italian Melania, I've forgotten her name, Meloni, she's very much in support of countries that want to resist these things. And the African countries are bonding together to do what we want to do. So I don't see what pressure they're talking about. People talk about we won't get loans. Is it not laughable? I mean, how come politicians, when you are coming into power, you tell us we have the men, we have the knowledge, we have the Gumni, the battle is the Lord's. When you come into power, you put this country into an economic mess, such that your finance minister is running all over the place, and then you turn around and tell us, I said, we're watching you way. Is it not painful? What is happening? That's why I switched into the local dialect. It doesn't even make sense. How can you mismanage the economy and then you come and tell us if we don't engage in LGBT, we're not going to get funding? Really? It doesn't even make sense. By the way, it's not even true. I don't see I've challenged them. They should show us any agreement that Ghana signed, either with the IMF or with any international organization, for which reason is, if you don't do LGBT, are there pressures being brought upon the Ghana? Yes. The European Union put a lot of pressure. We know there is some European government that are putting pressure, but certainly not the United States government. And in any case, this is a matter of sovereignty. So why wouldn't Ghana, Ghana, be able to say that this bit of what we call cultural imperialism, we're not going to accept it. Otherwise, you also go and accept polygamy in your country. Before you come and talk to us about activity.
Thank you very much. But as we wrap up, Moses, the thing with the bill is that, and I have to admit, I haven't read the entire thing, so I may not be observing the entire picture. But looking at some key points, what I noticed is that some parts of it may need to be looked at, especially parts having to do with association, right? So somebody doesn't report something and they get a jail term for it. That sounds a bit over the top, isn't it?
No, it's not true. It's not true that if you see somebody doing and you don't report, It's not true. In Ghana, if you see, well, we have a duty under the Constitution. Article 41 is clear that we have a civic responsibility to report crime and protect law and order. But if you don't report, nobody's going to. It's not true. There's no way. Well, you say you've not read it, but go and read, Google it, and have it, and show me the portion that says that if you don't report,
if you own a facility, if you own a house, where
yes, of course, but true, the same thing as a brothel. If you own a facility and there's prostitution, you're committing an offense.
But I'm trying to. And Moses, what I'm trying to do is try to get a little bit. And I love scenarios, right? So, for instance, you rent your house. You have 10 houses. You don't really know exactly what's going on in these places. You rent a house.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Don't even go far. The provision was very clear. It says that the landlord must have knowledge of
what's going on. So if the court is able to prove that the landlord had knowledge,
yes, otherwise the offense is not made out. Yes, you Google, you will see it's all there. We are not stupid. We drafted these things.
Of course not. Thank you very much, lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning. I believe that we owe you, or I say we are going to beg you for another interview to get a little more into the details of these things.
No, I'm willing to be on. So if you tell me, is it next week or when is that? So
my producer will reach back to you and reschedule so we can get more into the details of this. Today we called about the NaCCA thing. But as we go, what would you like to see? You've called for an inquiry in there. Let's say all that happens and everything. What would you like to see as a result of that inquiry?
No, we want to see those who are responsible held accountable. And if we have to dismiss them, we dismiss them. And that is the ultimate punishment they will suffer. And as I said for Siraj, I want the commissioner removed. I think that Joe Whittle has outlived his usefulness, and he doesn't represent our views. Then the UN agencies that are here polluting and messing up, I want Ghana's investigation. By the way, we have lots of good friends in the US and around the world who are prepared to bring evidence and testify before this open commission as to how the United UN agencies have themselves been corrupted. It is going to be huge in Ghana. The whole world is going to hear about us, I'm telling you, because we have got evidence, we've got facts and figures. And we're going to demonstrate how the progressive world is trying to take over the United Nations. We don't want that. If they want to, let me end on this note. All of you, people sitting in California and LGBT, look, you can have sex, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We don't care. We don't want.
Radio culture.
Because we don't come and do that over there. This neocolonialism or cultural imperialism, we will resist it with every force under our end. And by the way, we're praying. So despite all the attempt on President Trump's life and the shining, God will protect him. He's a good man. He's got his faults. I think this ISIS thing, ICE thing, I think he's gone a bit on the wrong side, but I think will be corrected. But in terms of his protection of the world, drugs, and LGBTQ plus nonsense, we are with him and we're praying with him. The Lord is going to protect him. He's a very good man and we love him. Trust me. Lots of us in Ghana, we support him. We love him. He's a good man. Because we can't have drugs. He goes and picks up Madura. Everybody's shouting. Really? Do you know the drug problems we're having in Ghana here? You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. And the next place I think you should tackle is Colombia. Because and I hear people talking about human rights. Really?
But what happened to sovereignty though? You mentioned Ghana's sovereignty at some point. If nobody has the right to invade Ghana's sovereignty with ideology, so to speak, how does America have the right to invade somebody's sovereignty physically?
Let me give you the international law basis.
Yes.
An example which you can relate to it. Our finance minister, he governed this country as a finance minister for 8 good years. He handled our public accounts, right?
Yep.
He's accountable to the people of this country. He has left this country. We are asking him to come and answer. He says he's not also and that's what because he's afraid. We're trying to extradite him That is the lawful process of getting somebody who's committed an offense and he is fled the jurisdiction to come and respond to his criminal activity. Now, in international law, there are bases on which you can extend what we call extraterritorial jurisdiction. Maduro has been indicted in the United States court for offenses which they have lined up. If you read the indictment, you can see it. So the United States and the international law has got every right to ensure that the person is brought lawfully by extradition.
Including bombing the person's country to extract him as an elected leader of his country?
I'm coming to that. Well, I am coming to that. What I'm saying is, do you think it was possible to extradite such a person? That he will come lawfully? Do you think it was possible? It's not, the man is the president. How is that going to be possible? He wasn't going to do it. So, and things were happening.
Necessary at that point.
For you Ghanaians sitting over there, you're going to be happy. Look, go to Florida. The Venezuelans were jubilating. Why? Because
some of the
things
others were protesting.
Well, what I'm saying is that 8 million Venezuelans have left Venezuela. They have migrated. All these immigration problems you have in the United States is because the country was being run down to its ground. And under international humanitarian law, ask yourself, why was Ghana and ECOMOG created to go to Liberia and stop the nonsense over there? Are you going to say that's also a breach of what's it called?
I by extension, why did Nigeria bomb Benin? That's another issue I have a problem with. Sovereignty is key.
We'll talk about that. Why did the U.S. bomb the ISIS in Nigeria?
With the help of Ghana.
Well, yes. Look, my brother, you guys have no idea. If the United States didn't help stop this nonsense in northern Nigeria, look at the consequence of it. The coup in Guinea is fueled by Mali, Burkina Faso. It was coming close to us, my brother. You sit there, you would have been shocked.
But what has changed in Nigeria after the bombing? I don't think much has changed in Nigeria.
No. You Google, since the December 25th attack, ISIS is on the retreat. You Google and find out.
I see.
The Nigerian army is achieving a lot of success that they didn't achieve. Check and see the last time a Christian church was raided and killed. Check from the
Again, 25th. Nigerians have stated unequivocally that all that's going on is not even about Christians at all. But lawyer, our next interview is going to be very interesting the way I see it.
Yeah. Let me end on this note. The Nigerians who are complaining are those who are complicit. If you have your parents, so I agree, it's not about Christians alone, but the majority who are being killed were Christians. That's also a fact. There were Muslims who are being killed, but the majority, if you check the data, the majority who were being killed were Christians. That's also a fact. But it doesn't matter whether Christian or Muslim. The important thing is that these bandits were destroying northern Nigeria and affecting Nigeria's existence as a country. And I'm saying that it was affecting the whole of West Africa, my brother. It is not just about Nigeria. All the coup d'etats you've seen in Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Guinea, all of that had to do with instability. And Ghana we were running risks. I'm telling you. But the Ghana army, the Ghana army is strong, we are reliable, but I'm showing you that the way they were sipping in, it wasn't a very nice thing at all. So I'm not saying the United States can just go bombing. No, they were collaborating with the Nigerian army. They helped. Look, even in Ghana, I know we have a relationship with the U.S. African Command. They collaborate. They come here. We're relating with them. They give us intelligence. We are monitoring lots of things. If we don't get that help, we're also going to be overrun. So I agree with you about sovereignty, but sovereignty must be related in such a way that it is inherent to the benefit of the ordinary citizens. You go and check. There are a lot of Nigerian Muslims people who are profiting from the war that was going on in the north. Find out. You will see what I'm telling you.
All right. Lawyer, thank you so very much. I know you're in transit, so we will let you go for now. But like I said, our next interview, we have to set a couple hours because we touch on everything there is to touch on. Lawyer, before we go, finally, please. Back in the day, growing up, I used to see you on TV every weekend. Reminisce with us, please. Give us something to you remember those days, the TV days, and then today social media. Tell us how much do you miss those days when you were on TV?
No, I don't miss it. Well, I don't miss anything because maybe you probably are not aware, but I still do my programs. And they are not as regular because I'm older now. My schedule is very tight. So, but during the World Cup and the Cup of Nations for the last 20 years, 30 years, I've still been doing a countdown series to the Cup of Nations and the World Cup. I didn't do this Cup of Nations because Ghana didn't qualify, and it cost money to do it. So the sponsors were not, ready to throw in much money. But for the World Cup that Ghana is competing in, my countdown series, but I'll be in the States around about March of,
Are you coming close to the Dallas area? Because there's a Ghana match in Arlington, which is not too far from where I am right now. So if you're coming this way, that's like, go.
No, I'll probably be right in your studio in March because I'll be coming.
Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that?
Production work in the
yes. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
As well.
Maybe we can attend the match in Arlington together and do a live from there or something.
No problem at all. I even before the tournament itself, I'm going to do the countdown series, about 3 months of production before the World Cup itself starts. So, as I said, I'll be in the United States to shoot some productions, to film some material on the stage here and the people involved in all of that. So I'll be around.
Please stay in touch.
So
please stay in touch. All right. Yeah. Lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning, thank you so much for your time today. And we hope to speak with you very soon, not too long at all. My producers will check in with you to schedule the next interview, sir.
Okay, all right, thanks.
I appreciate your time. Thank you for all the work that you do for Mother Ghana. Thank you very much. Lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning joined us by phone. Hopefully next time we'll get him on TV. We'll be right back to wrap up the GH report, and then we'll also bring you agriculture right after this very short commercial break. Thank you for staying with us. We will be right back.
Since 1994, crafting natural products with organic shea butter and red palm oil. All products are available on Walmart.com and Shopify, or visit our website at chrismark.com.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. We are back. And 1 second, please. Newsroom, please knock out that banner real quick and let's proceed. Thank you very much. So that was lawyer Moses Foh Amoaning. Very, very, very riveting interview there. Let's go back to bring you GH report. I think Justice Mafo has one more report for us. Justice, thank you for letting us take care of that second interview. Please continue with your report.
Inspector General of Police, Lieutenant Yohono, or the two judges, or more person of service officers in Nano. They know Abbey at Chomukra, promote my hospital, be promoting different levels and I said different rank, and no number Boama to me every and to know your idea over bribe police officer, you know, and to the Senate to my boy and second interview and from my brother.
Today, I assure you, you cannot bribe the policeman anymore. If you attempt to bribe the policeman, he will disgrace you. He wants promotion. We want to be one of the best police in the world. And we are carving that image for which generation upon generations will follow it, so that we'll get our glories back, and then we'll make everybody in Ghana proud. A small village in Ghana, a police lance corporal and his team, they intercepted a vehicle loaded with Indian hemp. They forced and brought the vehicle with the Indian hemp to the police station. After doing that, I don't know how he managed to get my wife's number, and they forwarded the arrest that they have made to my wife.
I attend in Inspector General of Ghana has Christian Yohono and Akitano. I never find a G report in Nina, yes, Nina. We see so agriculture.
Answer agriculture. Me war quick reaction to a report to a justice. Me was semi break. I was idea by brain me chasso. Number one, IGP say and ultimate bribe policeman. That's a very bold statement to make. That is an extremely bold statement to make. The original son said because and the police need a promotion. That being and a police need a promotion. Police need to say promoting. Definitely, it comes with perks, more money. But we've always had the problem of bribery in the police service. Adintra, it's not just because of promotional. Policemen, they need to survive on a daily basis. What is it? It's all the promotion, no. Do the other things that make them not take the bribe. Over America, when my frontier is difficult to bribe a policeman because it's one of the best paid. It's one of the best paid jobs. Policeman in police service for 5, 6, 7 years or retire. Na ketua or they call pension at the big. What I say? Policeman obi obo service behind himself. Ojeni hwa SRV we are. So called pensioner, he's taken care of. Anya the medical benefits as or yarea on slow because the medical benefits or the call hospital safe. Things like that. It is also what to your policeman. Some miga a Christiana will be your more and then I won't be there. That's what the country says policeman. And they bribe because of promotion. I mean, IGP Nyadi. They should look at the other aspects. Ebema policeman no. Bribe ebe unattractive to them. Usha policeman say, oh man, bribe. Say this way. When you say ask way now, all general, America has say no. Okay, so this ask now. Potentially, a China job no. And you way it's a yakon not so better ask and free war. These are the things that we need them to do. And then some of them a policy I am free about. But he can facilitate that through his ministry. Minister, I can say, and in here, a Bema police now, yes, our world standard police now, yes, say, thank you very much. Number two, or say, police in world standard, right? That's fair enough. That's really very nice. We are seeing very few police forces, and I mean, AK-47 too, and in Nama Mountain. It's awkward. Something when my platform which I mean be a short of a now Ghana police a standard issue weapon for them now. It's awkward. IGP, if you want to bring your police force to a world standard, revise the weapons that are issued to them. Issue them Walter PPKs that they can strap to their head, or some other similar weapon in that range that they can strap to their head. Confire they be chasing no. Me di me kai tiny so no. After them be sent to crack AK-47 and me dey hear them, me dey sign me one and me dey hear them. All right, versus me pistol upon my hip, so very well secure. So if I have to chase after a criminal, I'm freer to do that. So that's another thing that they have to check. The uniform, no, that's I used to speak about these days. I'm loving the uniform that they are issuing and stuff like that. Except the IGP Nakasa, so the FBI, you've been on their body handle, and also the version at some point, right? But it will no. Actually, I also more revise it. IGP, please revise that issue, change that system, withdraw the AK-47s, and issue standard Walter PPKs and not say anything with that range, no, to the police force so that they become more effective rather than every day now. No crack to back to trade. Obesi obi akwa for police ni to the China credit. It only body help. I can better than obi akwa chase that one. That's the other thing. IGP say or police ni be abasu because okokoche. Radio culture. I am biased in this matter, so let me make my bias known and stand on my consumer. But with all due respect. In this modern age, have some of the best police force, right? Police force, no. Police in Yebibia, sometimes they don't even have to be there. When I was in New York, right, more than a mile police car and a police person, some type of police presence. Baby, I was saying, you hardly see police, but the law works. People respect each other. People stop at the traffic sign, even though there's no policeman there. There's different ways of policing. Now, why am I saying this? Society, marijuana. And I'm going to be very blunt, okay? Because sometimes we have to be very blunt about the discussion so people know exactly what we are talking about. Places are open, you can go and buy marijuana legally. Crime has not increased. Remember, marijuana was stolen. If you are old enough to do so, and all of that, there's a whole economic, activity going on around that. There's a whole income generation thing. There's a place where I go, and I'm being blunt about that, right? There's this young girl, she's like 23 years old. I spoke to her, or a student who baby, she works in a marijuana dispensary. This is a society which is so-called modern. Now, the person who do police force up to speed, we need to let the police people also upgrade their common sense with all due respect. Because an embryo, a whole economy around marijuana in certain places, right? Your big companies, big pharmacies investing into marijuana. Now, this is actually an industry, but rather no, we are track full of marijuana. It's backward if you ask me. Again, the law is that if you grow that thing, maybe that's a show. Maybe they should bring you. So that's why again, it's not you or no, as a policeman, he's supposed to uphold the law. So if the law says marijuana is wrong, he has to uphold the law. He has to do what he has to do. And your focus is not on the IGP, but the American said, yes, starting conscientizing the police force, right, to have the right frame of mind. So that because for instance, you say, almost say it's supposed to be that if you arrest somebody with a certain amount of marijuana, it's non-custodial, meaning that they don't have to go to jail. You can find, let's work towards those things. The young guys are backward mindset. They say, oh, police in their backward should be with in Tampa, in Tiadia. I think that was a poor example. But then again, hey, IGP, I like what you're doing. You are bringing some decency to the police force. I respect that a lot. But Sanomaya Maki, mon share no some kind of say, bet me, you know, especially a 207. Police now OCC criminal ukra AK-47. It gets in their way. Police now OCC criminal or water PPK strapped to their head. It's more effective. I'm just saying. That's it for your reports. And why? Thank you very much. Straight from here for agriculture. When we come back, we will be going for agriculture. Please stay. As a matter of fact, I think Rootsman is ready. So let's go straight for that because the time is so echo fast spent. So let's go straight for agriculture with Rootsman. Rootsman, welcome. Are you there? Okay, I think the Rootsman is there. He is. Okay. All right. So we're going for agriculture today. Rootsman, what's going on with agriculture? And then you see about we're going to examine the policy of the president, which is trying to encourage schools to grow food to feed themselves, right? And you're going to give us some practical examples and all of that. I will, for today a special, normally you will be hosting, but I will be asking you a few questions as we go along. But take it away. First of all, how do you see that policy? Is it a good policy? Is it a practicable policy?
Radio culture.
Yeah, thank you, Kwesi. I think I didn't get your introduction because the network was playing up. But I think I've got a fair idea of what the introduction was. Yes, as to your question that the policy introduced by the government, I think it's a very laudable one, very, very laudable. And I say this because I personally witnessed the Operation Feed Yourself during the Achampon era. Back then, I was in international school. I'll say probably at the primary level, and we had this huge school farm at Aguna Sweden. We attended Sweden International School, popularly called Swiss, and we had like a really huge farm, which attracted national attention. So the then Minister for Agriculture, Colonel Frank George Benasco, actually paid a visit to the school to witness what we have done, and they planned the visit to coincide with annual speech and prize giving day, and it was like we were really happy that day. I remember where we had to welcome him by reciting some poems and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, I actually still remember.
Radio culture.
You still there? You're muted. I'm not sure what happened, but we can't hear you, Police. Roots. There you go. I think we can hear you again now.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you again now. Yeah, you were saying you still remember the poem that you had to recite when General Benasco came to your school at the time.
Yeah.
And General Benasco was the agric minister, right?
Yeah, he was agricultural minister. And he was asked to come because we had cultivated this huge maize farm, which had attracted national attention. It was actually my very first time appearing on TV.
Mm-hmm. And you still remember the poem. Share the poem with us, if you will.
I still remember it vividly because, like I said, we were using the alphabets, and I was the one who was starting to A. So my poem, it was a short one because we had to go through all the way to Z. So very, very short poems. And mine was arm yourself. Is arm letter A. Arm yourself with all your might. Go ahead with all that's right.
I see. And then the B will also come and start something with.
And start something with B. C will start something with C. D, like that until we get to Z.
So, and I'll let you continue in a short while. But looking at this now, I think that there's an element which may be missing from President Mohammed's model, which is the quote-unquote indoctrination, right? Because Operation Feed Yourself came with a certain sensitization, I think is a better word. A certain sensitization. Schools were actually made to imbibe the idea. Whereas right now, it looks like rolling out the policy, but there's no particular effort to sensitize the people about it. Do you agree? And from what you're saying, I'm just...
To some extent, yes. To some extent, yes. There's been a little bit of sensitization, but I think we need to do more in that area of sensitizing the people, especially the students. The students, because like I said, back then, people seem to think, because at school, when you do something wrong, they want to punish you. They ask you to go and weed and all those things. So people seem to have a very negative view about agriculture. So of course, if you want to go there, we need a lot of sensitization. I remember when we were at Quadra, so there was this funny thing that happened. We complained about this issue of getting you to weed when you do something wrong and stuff like that. And I remember they asked us to suggest alternative punishment. And then assistant school prefect, those days we used to call him school secretary. He just said something funny, and the whole staff member were looking at me. For example, if someone offends or does something wrong, you can ask him to climb that tree and come down, and that could be the punishment. And hello.
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. With this school feeding, Operation Feed Yourself kind of thing, we had this other model in when I was at Patriotic Party College, and it was actually working. What we did was there basically we were feeding ourselves. The school, like the students were feeding ourselves. We had a system whereby we were being given allowances at the end of the month. So a percentage of the allowances goes towards feeding us. So let's say if at the end of the month they are supposed to receive, let's say about 1,000 cedis, and they take, let's say, 500 towards the feeding, they give you the 500, the extra 500 to keep for yourself. But then we had a lot of land at the school, so we just put it to good use. So we were planting maize, beans, and then a lot of vegetables. How do you call it? Cabbages, carrots, and stuff like that. So as per our feeding arrangement, what happened was when we do the farms and we harvest it, basically we sell the produce to ourselves instead of those in charge of our dining going to KULCHA and all these markets to go and buy maize and stuff. We buy it from ourselves at the school, and obviously at a cheaper price. So what happened is ultimately we get some savings, because when we get the price cheaper at the end of the month, probably instead of taking 500 from our allowances towards feeding us, they might end up taking 400 instead. At least you get some extra 100 for your pocket. So yes, that is what we were doing. There was an account where we put those monies, like the sales from the farms. But like I said, instead of those in charge of our dining going into the markets outside to buy, probably at exorbitant prices, we farm and then buy the produce from ourselves.
Is it sustainable? Is it sustainable? Were you able? And let's go back to the Swiss, to the primary school example. Was the school going? The school was going all this made. Was it enough to feed the school?
The truth is, as at that time, we were not that many, so there was even more than enough. There was more than enough, like enough to feed the students and even to sell stuff to the public.
I see.
So it depends under the acreage under cultivation, and then in our current situations, there are certain technologies you can apply to increase your yields, even though you don't have a large area.
Okay, I see. So is it? And again, one will ask that's most likely going to be like you growing a particular crop. Whereas if you look at feeding a school, you're looking at variety, you're looking at a balanced diet and all of that. So is it
exactly? So what happens is, of course, we can cultivate all the food that we eat on campus. So those something like maize, we eat a lot. A lot of money goes into maize. If you are lucky and you have a swampy area, you can cultivate rice. You do same, and then the vegetables. So there are certain things that we will still go out to buy. But like I said, because you have farmed yours, it brings down the ultimate food bill.
I see.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying here.
Do you also know of examples where schools have engaged in animal husbandry?
Yes, we were doing the same thing back at Kwadasu too, because we had this poultry, a very huge poultry. We had a piggery, we had sheep and goat. So yes, occasionally they go out to buy eggs and stuff like that. So if we're going out to KJT to buy eggs, why don't we buy from ourselves? And like I said, at a reduced price. Probably we'll go to KJT. KJT sells it for, let's say, 2 cedis per egg. We can, because we worked on it ourselves and everything. We decided, okay, let's buy it at 1 cedi per egg. The poultry setup as it is going to make its money, and then we, the students, will also enjoy part of the savings, because we will feed, we'll get a balanced diet to feed on, and then the price is also lesser than that in KJT. So, like I said, depending on the purchases and how we get things, you might end up getting something extra added to your not normal allowance that you get, because we've got something to buy cheap.
So
like yeah.
Well, yeah. So I'm saying that you saw a direct impact on the quality of food that was served in the dining halls.
Yes. Yes, in the dining hall, and then the cost involved in producing that quality food for us was also down, because we produced a lot of the let's say ingredients ourselves.
Now, let's compare the Nkokon Kiti, the president's policy, and other related policies that are in the agri sector to the Operation Feed Yourself era, which you just started us off with. What are some of the similarities that you see between Operation Feed Yourself and the policy the president is rolling out currently?
Sorry, I didn't get that quite there.
Well, I was
the last bit of your question.
So I was asking, what are some of the similarities that you see between Operation Feed Yourself at the time and the president's policies, including in Nkokon Kiti and other related
policies? Yes, with the president's policy, I think it's more of a two-pronged policy. It's not just looking at the students, like school farming or something alone. The Nkokon Kiti extends into the community, the general community as well. So yes, it has some similarities, but yes, it's a little bit different. Like I've said, those days, Operation Feed Yourself, it was targeted towards school feeding, schools generally. But this Nkokon Kiti thing, yes, we are targeting the school feeding thing, but at the same time, looking into the local communities to also boost the production of this chicken. So ultimately, I think we all will be better off because those doing it as a backyard venture will be taking some money out of it. Those of us who don't have it and will go out to buy, I think the prices will come down for us. Looking at the recent Christmas, I remember back in 2024 during the Christmas, the chicken was selling for around 150 to 170. But the most recent Christmas, that was the 2025 one, it was selling on the average at 120. We experienced a little bit of savings there. So yes, I think there's that similarity about we trying to get the schools to be self-sufficient in their feeding, but in this activity case, it goes further into the local community as well. But personally, I think we need to have more on the school side because that is going to help the government itself a lot. Because once they go into the production, like I said, there are certain foods that, whether you like it or not, will continue to eat them in large quantities, like maize. So it will do them a lot of good if they have a land and they can go into large-scale maize production. And the good thing is they can actually even do intercropping. Once they plant the maize, they can plant the cowpea through it as well and get the same acreage of cowpea as well. Let's say they have 10 acres land, they can get 10 acres maize and 10 acres cowpea on the same acre land.
Interesting. All right. So as we wrap up, let's say you've been asked to advise the government on the policy that is rolling out right now. We hear a lot of talk about it. Some people are saying, "Oh, engage Juma." Some people are saying, "He should have given." Obiri Boahen just a short while ago mentioned that government should have given the money to businessmen to roll out the policy rather than giving it as a social intervention instrument to families without, looking for them to pay back the money or anything like that. What's your reaction to that?
Personally, I don't think I support his stance of giving the money to the businessmen because I think it's been done before in this country and ultimately it doesn't get to the target. The ordinary man in the street that is supposed to have the benefits of that policy, when you select a few businessmen and give them the money, it doesn't get to them. The Bukwa Kitikiti, as it is now, I've seen a few people involved in it. And like we spoke to that Alex at that time, the main problem was caring for them from as they old chicks about 6 weeks. That is where the problem is. And I think in this instance, the government did the right thing by giving it to large-scale, already established farms who will take care of them during that critical period. So once they are out of the womb, the farmers, I think that's what I should.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Rootsman. Today, I took over your seat to do the questioning. So let me hand it back to you to wrap up your segment. Anything else you want to say, and just wrap it up for us, please, before we go. I think you were
generally.
Okay, we hear you now. Please go
ahead. Generally, what I would say is it's a very sustainable project. If we commit ourselves to it and really focus on it, it's going to do a lot of magic for us. It's going to change our, especially when it comes to our meat aspect. This meat that we import, a lot of it is not healthy. So if we can do our own local one, we know the source of it and consume it locally is going to help us a lot. So yes, it is a very sustainable policy.
All right. Thank you very much, Rootsman. Next week, God willing.
Before I exit, this is just not part of the program, but please give me a call immediately after the program. There's something I need to discuss with you, very urgent.
Will do. We'll definitely do that. Thank you very much. All right. Rootsman with the agriculture segment. Thank you very much. So please stay put. We will be bringing you arts and culture very shortly. And with that, we'll be wrapping up the show. Please stay put, as I said. And after this commercial break, we will be back with arts and culture.
Blood of the slain will never be in vain. Never. No. I don't want to see no more people dying. Zion, Yahweh. Whoa. Zion, Yahweh. Whoa. Zion, Yahweh. Whoa. Zion, Yahweh. Yo, listen, man. My name is Ja, beloved. You can call me Kwesi back when the occasion calls for it. You are watching iCulture TV. Keep it locked. iCulture TV. Africa. From African perspective.
But today it hurts me so to go back to mama and say, Mama, I'm getting divorced. Oh, I'm getting divorced. Oh, this choice I made didn't work out the way I thought it would. This choice I made, it hurts me so, mama. Whoa, this choice I made didn't work out the way I thought it would. Now I'm hurting. Mama said to me, it's not easy to understand this life, but I hope you make it and you'll be happy.
helicopter trotro kumase den easy from Atonsu to KJT, from KJT to Atonsu. Obi see that kumase nkwa na abehuwe trotro helicopter and abetom ewo kumase technology sanity.
Sama sele sakama alaikum. God have mercy upon us. Sama alaikum. Ha kweku. I mean, one from kweku. What from dan? I mean, what from a papa. Ha, ezibeni ntada ni kremwenyi by force. Sabalata kaside biasa. I would have been in a Muslim. Also, why Moko Kramo? What be your problem? Okay, a Kremonia can a fatty a minte, Baba would a torture. That's a fatty a one can and Kranakasa or Chilapon Chinkwan, and say when you and 10 cran. Why should I that a cherry no more than 10 ton? Hey, Malami is cocky, Continent Ewaha, G Cody, Menanti woman Philip Populoshi, Mambelaha, Coconako Senti. Now I'm not said up Quanubi, Mamma Mania Buana Mayazumi. I play to no was minimua, and your Muslim woman made the Yaya Kumi. Also, Jama Anu Sabina Abo, Mamma made the Amenaka de Jazako, or Tuntana Ankora on a Sabago. A Razila Ilaha Ilalahu. I will read Gina Yaya Fasten. We have Funat Sanson that I'm in a castle. A Dazan life in a new tasking, Nedinamu who they have on our hustle. You want to disgrace me? Why? Shanano Brofo, but down for the Kai. Is that you telling me? You caught the man and them Keke Fidubai. I'm a young cook in Chankwa. Was up like in Chemtul. It's here you Pumusulama me Yankwa. Then in the Betchelmufun. We will feel them and it will be near Yako shocks, Yakwa, and no more to put each thought. American most my edge drought and a cramona is some who at your pork. Amen. Pork a moon bida. Nana whom can say, on the moon bida. And now when a man will win the reja, edge by yelling a pork at the noombia. Amen. I put you now when you prefect. Milika say, a small work with the TZ. I was the Rebina Jalabe and a slippers. I may be a cremono, Musumi Jesus. Wow, she need less lies. Cremunia Esumi Jesus Christ. And you shall be a pepper bimbo, Azana, and change the useless life. Usumpo, why the less stressing. Baby, I'm a Fabiana, let disturbing. Coco Kaklama Padamunu Minta, then a CTV detect him. Why see, also the CTV. I'm a metabro for me, real UCC. Abacos, nay, yeah. Me, yes, social studies in a mountain, I'm sending a BDT. No, the BDT, no, Abacosa. When you Bible determination taxes, Bible determination taxes. Bible determination taxes, where in university? No taxes to sign. I didn't come go Coney Brown by force Muslim. Hey, boys, and I'm cooking Poya one show. I read Mafia now, Mr. Bacon. Oh, Mr. Bacon.
All right, and we are back again. Thank you very much for staying. Due to technical reasons beyond our control, we are unable to bring you arts and culture for today. Please do forgive us. My name is Kwesi Eson Bakon. This is where we bring the show to an end. We will see you next week, God willing, with another packed show. Until that time, thank you once more for joining us for the show. We're bowing out on the heels of this song. Enjoy and see you next week, God willing. Bye-bye.
Hot a fire burn them. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. The wrath of God upon them.
I am your thief, you sell some fire, you're killing people every day. Anytime you open your mouth, up here lie, you're leading my people astray.
Government by family and friend, corruption never end. Are you tell us said you are God sent, but when we turn around the bend, you thieving with a pen. Coffee with family, and I struggle for fed. And when you come after we, like the cock on the end. What a pity when we sell our dignity as men. Politicians them attack we from the rear end. Lead we to a dead end. And the fake preacher telling I and I feel repent. With the money in my pocket is a mountain again. And when the gap are ever widen, fences can mend. So this question I send.
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
And me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Whoa, at the fire bonding. Until they change their mind, the wrath of God upon them.
Through your lies and deception, wrong education, you're posing yourself one way. But when the church and the state collaborate to keep us in slavery.
And by the ballot and the bullet, they put their gun to your head. Them say you have the right to talk, but talk too loud and you dead. It's like them have a different system for the leader and the leader. Hurt to run red. So get the youth balls rise and show them how things be run. If them can't do it, come and make me show them how we done. And we now no more room for them like them days are gone. Up your fire burner. What them say?
Where the money there? 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 Where the money there?
And me say where the money there?
I don't know.
Where the money oh?
I don't know.
So where the money there? Hiding in the Cayman Islands. So where the money they invested in foreign lands. So where the money they me personally I don't know. So where the money they where the money they and I mean say hot a fire burn them. Red lava done them. Diarrhea run them. And the wrath of God upon them. Until them change their mind. Wrath of God upon them. Popo people plan, brother, brother. As far as I'm
Oh, boy, Sikenu, Wedi, hey! Ngbaskayo! Sikana way.
Nakudi.
All right, we signed out on the show already, but it looks like we have Cinergy ready with arts and culture. Please stay put as he brings us arts and culture.
Okay. Good evening, Rash. I hope you have a for there.
Nyaminado, bonsoir.
I go for the whole pa.
Good CP. Fire call.
For the sake of time, we don't go straight to the story or the updates we have for people on the arts and culture. And this one go straight on the essence of tradition, art, and for the purpose of culture. The educational purposes of it, the informational purpose of it, and then as to how Obiri Boahen to see the real. Yeah, I understand that you are born or sometimes an individual bar, if it's not about what you feel like, your friend said, it is not a conversation now. Now, this one is about a meeting at a court. The meeting, was between Otunfo Osei and Ashanti Region House of Chiefs on the 19th of December 2025. Before the Baby 2026 year. Now, one thing I bow on board now discussion a center on. Now, a viral video you want to do any break. Now, all now all money can be at there's no way he will allow the topic to go on. Now, before we break down that video, I just want us to take it one after the other. We are near the 18th video. So now it's about the chieftaincy act. What Ghana have now a part of our constitution, and in that chieftaincy act, actually, and near man, this chieftaincy act, a man and him for no a quine and near also meeting a year. They have their limits where on power to know any baby, any quantity age. So under this chieftaincy act 2008 at 759, looking for Australian out, Emma, yet yes, idea any no. Na Emma who quine under the constitution of Ghana, no. So before Freya Naginso or the Baby Remua, he's not going to allow that to happen. And as na meeting air course, he made it emphatically clear, say, the National House of Chiefs had the proposal the air back. And that proposal had the inclusion of the Queen Mothers in their public settings. Now, through that, they just want to amend that in the Chieftaincy Act 2008 Act 759. Now, and no, and no more person and Yuna educate. And I was for a day, the night, as she said, to a known idea. He's never going to allow that to happen. Stating it emphatically, say, the inclusion of the Queen Mothers, in the public setting, is something it contradicts the Asante tradition. Any Asante Amamrim, that is the first thing. Now, what you say, the Queen Mothers, already they play a vital role. They have the immense power, more power, and they give them the vital power to elect whoever be a was obey a chief in the Ashanti region. So we all know that recently, Oko Mampoa in the Ashanti region, Ansana Yakwakuyi Mampon, it took the Queen Mother and or yet that nomination, AG Nipa was the Dignity Akunyato, and Sanya Dinipa Kron Aircraft Otunfo. So that has been the role of queen mothers. Omu role no is exercised privately, indoors. Ahemfo ne Asante tradition ɛte aseɛ saa. Nti no now no if the National House of Chiefs ɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo eyi queen mothers no efiri the private role they play when it comes to tradition. No ɔmo ma ne kɔkɔɛ te sɛ public thing a, he's not going to allow that to happen. And two, he will never allow anybody to alter the ancient tradition of the Ashantis. Ɔmo obi akwan, ɔmo obi akwan anything na. Ɛbɛyɛ te sɛ yɛde ade foforɔ ɛba abɛhyɛ Ashanti ama no mu. Lastly, yɛwɔ ɔmo a ɔmo di ɛnadeɛ, yɛwɔ ɔmo nso a ɔmo di agyadeɛ. That is the matrilineal kind of system and the patrilineal kind of system. We have some ethnic groups that they practice the matrilineal system, and we have ethnic groups who they practice the patrilineal kind of system, of which the Asantis, we know say they practice the matrilineal kind of system. All these, money can be at the Emubia or Modebiana a contradicted the Ashanti region and one more tradition or no as a people will never understand. And two, he also stated that if they continue to push this proposal, a contradictory Ashanti tradition, he will make sure that all the chiefs of the Ashanti region will boycott or they will stop going to meetings that involve the National House of Chiefs because it is not by law. A contradictory tradition there. As a people of the Ashanti tradition, to make sure to protect the sovereignty of the Ashanti mind. The video, the full details of whatever they are also for Kai. So if Dream Room is ready, I'm going to video number.
Sure. I didn't was that your money per as Nubian and a money. Obian brings up a Bian, she sent Rebia as a national and Ebefraubia. Yahinia by any and she said the buy and pong. Ubi over a visit the uncle. It is statutory, one Fayan, Ubian, Kofa, Bamun, and Kratabia, Migayan. Santimem, Yama, Menum, you were to me, Yania, Yanan, Motetin, Fiahanani, to me, Yama, woman's woman from a woman, a war. Yet the Bunny and Nidiama, woman. One the word to me is what ye in a cry, any attention or banny ye, as any ever. As yet, the answer said, Yama, will you be what to a foot, what to or Puma, bet you are no coffee nor cocasam. Sani and she said, she asked Antimaya, I know that you all can. Where I change I and now Professor Kratas and yeah, money and no. Creation of the regional house of Chinia and yeah, near mania. It will be a Fakata and free baby and America baby and Fatabian. Obi or baby was one to dear Jadia, only Nadia. Yes, we see a dinner there. Yes, we are the uncle. Mumfamfra, and National will be a free baby, will be free not to be free. Any want any money, I say, Nasamokas, and we wholesaler there. Memma will be a fine, or Ghana have most some money and that. Memma Quansa. And I'm many a young Camobian. Constitution of boy and the institution of chieftaincy, together with the traditional councils as established by customary law and usage, is hereby guaranteed in the Constitution. Your customary usage, say any Sante, Mamma, say near Fadrin, near Mamma, to a near car. I will hope. That's what we're taught to craft will be made away there. And Yama Mania and Yan no Constitution, paying national is clearly specified there. But quite no corner, Mammy, if you or the Cabby of a Cabia, come on in and Mammy talk about Bia, Masquata and Mammy Cabby, Gavin and Mammy Cabia, or Babby Draw, what two for you know, they have a on and a month for Bomino. Sanate, your quite anti-man, woman to be, woman of never. Woman tear me Mukofia or 2 foot and Nana, your quite man here can say, next time Mukwa say that. Yes, she shall know. Net the honest way in Nipano, a money and no, will be pro Montesa, Nanon Chessa, what's on your truck at the breast, you say, and also free ever. Won't you answer some money, many sons, name to me, I'm digital, my son, me more beyond the sun and then the sun is down. And there was some of me at yes. We are money and your mamma at Ibuya Mawa. For him and the Unipa, we need a period, I'm paying for no paying for so the air, and no, the chef here, but you are Santa Ma, what to maintain, or Mabijam, or Majina Santiman Casada. As one who to me say, Mamma, what to me say, Gabin here. That's what about Santiman Casa. We drew what there was a memano, when I'm Muniparo, no Munfaranam Nanenka. Yes, Santiaman. Enti yase wo but dada ye maame no ye ne ye koshia ye no mu na na dwene ye bibia that's wo wie so otimachi na fe mema ye ne ye kokan ase bibia ye na kofia kodwen me pers register lawyer me da sia so because ye nye se chocho ne ma basa e ko ho amo pe mo mfa me de mo mfa ma ha ye mo be sia tumu bia ba ha me twem me mfa nya adwuma and a Muntias Santimanco, Yamanianco, customary law and usage as pertains in the traditional is guaranteed. Yet the end said the city as an air. Ubizwa once wanted the or person will be the one year. My Santimamu, dear, as Santima to me was Kajaku, dear, Meshishanko, and on Yamonashan House of Chiefs. And then Mamma could be quite say I tried to assess that to Jina Mamako. Me ba said the emra ye pay near Shiaka and the your customary law and usage in the air and the statutory it is at the air king and Sassam Ramu when near Behania bedroom home and the statutory in a non creature house went to be creature and the house went to be more mine. Regional house being what to me is what mine and as we create mine. It is there will be a for 2 minutes for share regional house. There's a research committee, national house. A year first, in track. Almost the area who do be near Bishop Mama register. Research committee. When you free money, say, and I just had the Dini be Baba, Moncophone be Bopo, the Dini be real. Moment now. It's a lawyer, Medasi, as a Casa Monshim, and yet they are no. Yes, so to say, and I said, for Yetiana will be registered address, you transfer and acquire, and lawyer Yafano, then you choose to make number. Netianica. So we have to know Sonia, any able to a chairman.
Exactly. And well, I exercise the power of what I say. Politicians can never in any way show our people the tradition and water we are given over the years, all in the name of modern statistics, whatever there you see they say the Bible can culture is culture, tradition is tradition. Said the year art and culture once. Culture is not something you can just do away with it. Now who would they feel? Not say who can tradition the crowd who can who be. But said the which freely said the meanwhile it doesn't go like that. No, I was doing for the Amaya. What should I say? Queen mothers no more mother. It has been private. Omu two such a name and a telcunya. It was almost in Nemano. How can regional house of chiefs better say? I feel the queen mother. That means you want to maintain the tradition. One more day. If you want to do it, do it. But only you not accept.
When this suggestion by it came from the Ministry of Chieftaincy and I say the Regional House of Chiefs on the by.
Regional House of Chiefs was by. Definitely, it's not under the chieftaincy, but they just want to amend it under the chieftaincy act. But it's from the Regional House of Chiefs, National House of Chiefs.
I thought the idea was for the Queen Mothers to sit by themselves, just like your Regional House of Chiefs, no? And as a National House of Chiefs, thank you, National House of Queen Mothers. That's what I thought the idea was. But the idea is to what? To have them all sit together under the same umbrella as National House of Chiefs. Is that the idea?
And in other words, they just want to focus on the other side that gender equality.
Yeah.
Or they said they they kind of chiefs in one and the chiefs in one and gathering different course about the chiefs. This time around, there was almost including the crime management in whatever they do.
Which is not a bad idea. But like Otumfo is also saying, tradition is tradition, right? Because if the Queen Mother sits in public, now Omokomo Ajinwa seminar in public, if you told them what the Bema or any walk with.
And none in
the I said the very last resort. It's in the case of Bisabewa, you could be Sabewa. Abewa near that you know, on but now one thing can sack my own for politics and the other baby. And when I do it is a chile no, he never called Ebisabewa, Nabewa Canton. That's our brother, but now Kuku ever can't. It means you two for the Okana Sepa, but you say 100%.
Right. Just to back what you are saying, when one sensitive thing a man ya corner when you work anymore. Imagine, say, Mampo him, that's who you are no more pet or be a sinner name. Traditionally, not your word, yeah, sir, obey you. But we never heard anything about it till say they did the before money. We didn't perform on the 18th. Now on the 5th January, but we never heard the Queen Mother saying anything about it outside. So on the other side, the thing for whom say a deep problem. Imagine toy. Definitely they will be meeting. Anchor Queen Mothers will be part of that meeting. Ahead the anchor issue in the board. And I'm a boy. If you ever can watch it, of course, I'm watching it. It will be there. We have into our chance. I came with the other. Internet or not, but not what that means. Interest or baby. But almost the end day, I am more of point in one. The one side the final but that one. Ever that one is a final. And that is what we think for wants them to keep.
And now, show you national structure, governance structure in the council. Your council of elders. I will hold on two presidents. You never hear them speak.
Never hear them.
They don't speak. It's before can hear 100%. Even though I can also connect with the idea, say it's also important to give the women prominence. If that's the case, set a separate chamber for them. Set the national house of Queen Mothers, maybe. With their own, that's almost okay, almost that's over for some plug your into it now. If you are this idea by why along those lines and the for I draw more attention to it. So I hope that they will do something about it. Now you're moving forward because it's system
with this thing, I will come watch and see. Do you know, say the Queen Mothers in the Chronic Ocean said you think for children or more to me catching will be out.
Yeah,
for someone
they are the kingmakers.
Yeah, they are the kingmakers. And then all Baba Kasha public doesn't change anything.
I hope that we are moving to sorting it out quickly. Definitely is in charge of making the amendments, will act on it. Normally say, who say, oh, the crowd time kasa straight, sir. What you say? Or kasa did in some motive. I've never seen a tune for do that. And to say, I say, or more in charge. You have to look at it and do the needful. Now, Cinergy, thank you very much for another.
Quickly. Only said the matrilineal and the patrilineal thing our kind about it. They are sure watching one thing.
Yeah.
You move on Omudi and I did a jade. Now they just want to put all that together and appropriate to say. So could be move and found we say we are one when you which need to be ready. And not what is idea no need to a traditional that one more. More any award tradition one can could be some of the Mudi jade. And you feel the can on a boom. Yes, well like the beauty of our tradition. Any culture. We should have a diverse culture. So Obi more who is any different. Obi see DMI was see who is different. Never who say this is how the culture no the richness necessary. They said they are recently a call I think to see. May also say there are several cultural practices you want to enforce. For other festivals, it is a national regional house of peace. Person mo yẹ ne te sẹ yẹn nyinaa yẹ bibifo nti adeɛ bi yẹn yẹ bi a wɔ sɛ kati across na bibi ayɛ one na I don't think sɛ saa deɛ yɛ nso ɛbɛ boa.
The variety no cry variety na yɛ wɔ no say matrilineal na ebi yɛ matrilineal ɛnɛ ni nyinaa ɛna mba yɛ Ghanaians. It's beautiful that way. I feel like, but again, like I'm saying, culture is dynamic, right? Culture is not static. Culture and yadi was 73 for to be honest with you, and then you swore or you say your culture that has not always been the case. That came at a point. It will be there so okay now if there's something that we can adapt to make the culture more dynamic, why not? But this particular one represents all shades of problems. I would say, you examine it properly before we roll out anything along those lines. Now, let me say you in the Dilumba Assembly or any Waba Ghana for. But however, I'm very happy you did it because
that's what by the end of the day, I wanted to add it to this story, but I'm in percent. Yeah, they are not the back we see in the home, but I know they are getting more details on that.
I want to join the bandwagon and just be a conduit for churning out that thing, because make sure say all these people, Papa Shea and all whoever is doing all these things, our main focus is on bringing traction. And once we discuss it, we are also adding to the traction that we are offering. However, many people say over to me any lawyer Kusi, right? Now, something along those lines, something that will be different from the noise that's going on there. But that's for another day. For today, let me tell you.
I just don't want to show videos of Oba Airport and we just want to have a proper storyline alongside whatever is going on.
Discussion about going forward, what's there for the children, for instance. What's his property going to be like? Is that why there is this brouhaha going on? Isn't there enough for the two women? Madame Fubi, Mama can't assemble quick name fans. Madame Fubi, rich men back in the day, you know, some of the very rich men you couldn't skip over. I don't want to mention the names for obvious reasons. For those who know me, they may be able to deduce, right? But this was a very, very rich man, very famous, very wealthy person in Kumasi. Ofri Mono. Nema bebree ɛne ne yerenom kakra ɛna manso na mempene na hwan na den na wo se we fa we na wo se we ne fa we na wo se we ne kwa na wo de and okay asɛm court 15 years na asɛm wɔ court na ɛmaa no a ɔmo ɛtwe adeɛ no ho ɔmo kasa hwɛ adeɛ wo sɛ man hwɛ ya mesome gya adeɛ ho akɔ abɔ befoforo abɛtwe ho manso right. So they were forced to agree on something because Omwakasa no more idea like assembly now court for 15 solid years. Eventually they were forced to, in their old age, to come together as the wives, you know, to say, okay, yeah, assembly can say, Wofa we na misume fa we, dan kra so fa we na yan toa so. Ko ya hwe ya ya nisa so ma na ye kan wasem. Ye be we jawa na assembly na wodi ye kan. Right? These women or these factions or these camps or whoever who are fighting over the Nilumbes estate, you know, they should wise up. Me, I have decided not to follow that because I don't find any interest following that story. However, my only interest there is that Nilumba is a legend. Let's give him what he deserves. Let his name rest. This man's name rest to Tom, Papashi, and everybody else. May I say, Cinergy, after 2 minutes now, you do the top of the hour. Your friend will wrap you up. Your friend will so next week, God willing, we will see you again with another edition of Arts and Culture. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Cinergy, the man who always brings you arts and culture. And with that, I feel here, true to my word, we are going to end the show. The show has gone a little over the scheduled time. Do forgive us for that. Going forward, we'll try to do better with our timing. But yes, thank you for joining today's show again. My name is Kwesi Esuan from Studio 1, Texas, USA, ably supported by my team in Studio 2, Kumasi, Ghana. We have some very exciting news coming for you regarding our operations, but we will wait for the right time to announce those. Please stay glued to us for those things. Invite your friends and your family to like our platform, GH News Now, across board. Also share media platforms, GH News Now. Let me also take a quick moment. I am somebody who, I don't like being the bearer of bad news. So until the news is out there, even if I receive the news, I don't want to be the one to carry it. But Komansi Music, which is our sister network, our music producing arm, Yantia Sempa, Kra, Mira Huye, if you're read by Nina, Mira Yantia Sempa, in free Australia. As you know, your war team members all across the world. When we were doing the Where the Money Rhythm, when we were doing the Stand for Peace project, those of you who have been following us, you saw how it went with coordinating with people from all over the world. One of our key team members from Australia, Yantia Sempa. But I'll just leave it for now. Once the family has formally announced it, we'll come and pay the proper tribute to our fallen brother, Mirahuye. Let me leave it there for now. We will be back next week, God willing, with another show. Thank you for being part of the show. My name is Kwesi Esuan. I'm out.